righty. I think we're live.
Yay!
I'm
Hi,
trying new gadgets. The countdown is new, so we'll
I
see.
I like the countdown with the grass. It was so cute.
I figure we would give people a chance to know that we were live, and that way we don't have to kind of have that awkward pause.
Yes.
Yay, we are live. I see us.
Yay. Oh my goodness. And people are here. Hello, everybody. I love seeing where everybody is from. We've got people from Maryland, Canada, Florida, Illinois, Utah, Texas, Connecticut. So many amazing places. Oh, people are excited about your teal walls. Yeah, Jen's in a new place. Do you want to tell them, Jen?
Yes.
Maybe for people.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. Oh, that's right. I was in my old house in our last Create With Us. So yes,
Yeah.
I moved. Chris and I bought a home, and so we moved in on February 1st. So I am still very unsettled. It's echoey in here. I can hear it a little bit, and I might have a few shadows on my desk, but I promise you next Create With Us, it'll be a little bit more refined. But yeah, so painted the walls, gotta have some color, now that we own our home. Before we were renting, I can do whatever I want.
I love it. It's a great color.
Thank
Oh, and
you.
we're saying hi from Miami, Florida. Hi, I'm originally from Miami, so hello.
Yay. Oh my gosh, we have people from all over. I love this. This is
Yeah.
so awesome. Let us know in the chat if you're going to be creating along with us or if you're just here for the crafty chat. Either way is perfect. I just thought I would quickly let you guys know what this is all about in case this is your first time joining. So I'm Jen Sharkus, and we've got Kelly Marie. And we do these free mini classes quite a few times throughout the year, usually near a release. And Lawn Fawn just had their spring release, which is so exciting. So we're going to do a free mini class tonight. And all the information is on Lawn Fawn's website, which there's a link at the bottom of the screen. I know Shari and Rebecca are in the chat, and they will link it up as well. There's a downloadable handout. I don't know, Kelly, if you have that nearby and you could hold it up.
Yes,
I don't ever print my own handouts because I don't need them. But there's a downloadable handout with coloring guides and prep if you do want to create along with us. If you didn't know about these, you can do it another day. You can watch the replay. You can watch all the previous Create With Us's. They're just a fun time for us to get together and chat and craft and just have fun together.
Yeah, and in this you'll see that there's the cards we're making. There's prep here as well. And then really cute card detail photos. And we have this, like Jen said, not only for the Create With Us we're doing right now, but all of the Create With Us that we've done. And we will have a replay of this too. And then this adorable card. I think that one's my favorite. It's so cute.
Thank you.
These awesome coloring guides, which we're going to be going over in just a bit. But this handout is amazing. It has so many cool things in it, not only card ideas, but also coloring ideas too.
Yay. So definitely check it out. It's a good resource. Even if you're not ready to create tonight, it's a great resource to print out. You guys can save them in a binder. And when you are looking for some inspiration, I know that I hear from many of you, some nights you just want to come home after work or after whatever you were doing this week, and you just want to craft. And sometimes you don't want to have to think of what markers to use, what inks to use, what layout to do. And that's what these resources could be good for as well, if you're not going to use them tonight. So yeah, yay. All right.
Oh my goodness, people have all of them printed out. That's awesome.
And I just saw somebody mention that the Carrot Bout You is the one stamp set that they did not get this release just yet, which is fine. I say yet because you might be enabled to want it after tonight. But we always encourage you guys to create with whatever you have. So we're going to be making a platform pop-up tonight. So maybe you're going to make a platform pop-up with a whole different theme. or maybe you don't have the platform pop-up, but you're just going to use the little bits and pieces to create a non-interactive card. We're going to be stenciling the background on our second card. And again, if you don't have this stencil, you can use any stencil you would like, any inks, whatever supplies you guys have. I always support you guys to substitute and use what you have, because we really just want you to create and hang out with us. That's the goal.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I love is these are just great ideas, not only for these cards, but cute layouts of things that you can take into other cards and other designs with lots of different stamp sets.
Courtney said, I pretty much have everything else from the release, so let's see if we get Genebled.
Oh my goodness.
See. We'll see.
And I love that Liz has been doing these with us for almost 2 years and she still uses the coloring guides for reference. That's awesome.
Oh, I love to hear that. That makes me so happy. All right, so we are going to end up flipping the screen. You're going to see my studio table, my hands working away, and you'll see Kelly and my face throughout the evening. And if you guys have any questions, let us know. If it's a question about the class or actually anything really, if you put the word question in the beginning, that's really helpful since Kelly and I both will be creating. So if we glance up and we see that word question, that will help us see an answer. And then, like I mentioned, Shari and Rebecca are in the chat as well. And so they'll be typing away and answering and linking up stuff as well. So yeah. I'm so excited.
And then I did see a couple questions really quick. One of them saying they're sad that the Stitched Garden set is sold out. It actually isn't sold out. So we'll have either Shari or Rebecca link to does she mean the Stitched Garden border? Perhaps can you check that out, Rebecca?
Does she mean this one?
Maybe she means that one. We'll check that out. And if it is, sign up to be notified because we get new shipments in all of the time. So that one is sold out, but our Stitched Garden veggies and the platform pop-up picket fence add-on and the Cared About You are in stock. But sign up to be notified because we are going to get more of them in soon. So that's for sure. Go
ahead, Kelly.
I was going to say they also have a question about your sweatshirt too. So
what I was just going to quickly say about the Stitched Garden border, I'm obsessed with it and it is so cute. It's a previously released die, which I always love this. When Lawn Fawn comes out with new stuff, it coordinates with the older stuff and it makes us use our stuff. But you guys can have a lot of fun creating this card with your stitched hillsides as well, which I kind of feel like Lawn Fawn fans, probably 98.9% of you have stitched hillsides. So you can totally substitute with that. And this is a new sweatshirt. Next week, I am hosting Crop on the Cape, which is one of my big events in person that I host. There'll be over 300 paper crafters getting together here on Cape Cod. I'm so excited. Lawn Fawn is one of the awesome sponsors that helps me run this amazing event. And so the Crop on the Cape peeps got to pre-order new gear first. So I just had to toss on a new one, but I will have pre-orders for new gear coming soon. So stay tuned.
No, I will be signing up for that for sure. That sure is so cute.
Right? So fun.
Yeah, so good. We also have another question really quick is saying, when is the Christmas release coming out? Which, oh my goodness, you guys are putting some pressure on us. So we have our summer release is going to be May 16th. And then our August release is it August?
Let me look, hold on.
22nd, I believe, right?
That's usually, yeah.
Yep, August 22nd.
Yep.
So May 16th and August 22nd are going to be, and then we'll have a release, a mini release in December. So those are the next big releases out there. But I like that you guys keep us on our toes, make sure we're working ahead of time.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get started. And again, we're going to work and chat. So, but I thought we will just get started. Again, we're going to be making this platform pop-up today. I just had to use the new fence add-on. It was too cute not to. And then we are going to create just an A2 card, which, confession, you guys, this is not on a card base. I'm just gonna throw that out there now because I can't even pretend that it is. So, but maybe my new one will be put on a card base. So we are going to start by coloring. And like Kelly mentioned, there are coloring guides in the downloadable handout. I am going to be using Copic markers tonight, which are alcohol-based markers, but you guys can use any coloring medium that you want. I always swatch out the colors that I'm going to use. So that way, if you're using another brand of alcohol-based markers, or you're using colored pencils, or maybe you're watercoloring, you can maybe use similar colors. Again, if you would like to, you can go rogue and use completely different colors as well. And I'm going to be following along on the coloring guides. And the coloring guides are really helpful, again, no matter what coloring medium you're using, because they give you some coloring, like starting off points, like maybe you're not sure what color you want to color things, but it also shares with you an idea of where to put shadows if you do want to do any blending or shadowing. So the coloring guides are super helpful, again, no matter what coloring medium you're using. We tend to put our little bits, our little stamped images onto some low tack tape. This is going to make it easier for me to hold on to the little images that we all love so much from Lawn Fawn while we're coloring. Because we're creating together, it's kind of takes up a lot of time to do the stamping and die cutting, so we do that ahead of time. And since everything's die cut out, now we will have an easy way to hold on to our little images. So I'm going to start by coloring the row of tulips. And I kept these guys really simple. Sometimes I do that, you guys. Sometimes I do that. I'm going to alternate the tops of the tulips with dark pink and a light pink. So I'm going to use R85 and R81. And then I'm going to color the leaves with a dark green, YG09. So no blending, no nothing like that right yet. This is kind of a good warm up.
And are we doing both flower strips,
yes.
Jen?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to do both rows of flowers the same exact way. So I'm going to alternate dark and light tops and then just green leaves. So yeah, I feel like maybe because I'm in a new space, I feel like it's been forever since we did a Create With Us, but we did actually just do one in January.
You know what's funny is it feels like forever ago. It doesn't feel like it was just in January.
So somebody's suggestion, by the way, for some pilgrim mice.
Oh, and we have pilgrim mice.
We do. That's what I was just looking at.
I know.
When she said that, I'm like, I feel like
they're an old school kind of mouse, but I still think they would be really cute with our original.
We definitely have pilgrims because I use them whenever I do like the Lawn Fanatics challenge. Like, where are you from? Because the pilgrims landed in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I definitely know we have it too.
Thankful mice.
Yeah, because
it's. I'm sorry, Shari's way ahead of me and linked them already.
Oh, okay. So... Well, Aaron, who works here at LFHQ, it's his favorite set. So when we've said favorite sets before, like he'll in the background, he might be kind of dressed as one of the pilgrim mice. So now you can look for him in some of our funny reels.
Oh, that's fun. Rebecca, remember Shari is listening.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So she's speedy, that Miss Shari.
Right. And so you guys know, so Jen is in Cape Cod in Massachusetts. Shari is in North Carolina. And Rebecca and I are here in Southern California in the same room. She's right on the other side of this computer. And that's why you can hear her. Rebecca and I are also both very loud people. So you can definitely hear both of us.
And Shari and I call each other the East Coast Fawnies. And we sometimes teach online Lawn Fawn classes together, which is always fun. I love doing classes with Shari.
Oh my gosh, you guys did a recent class that was with one of my favorite older sets, Critters in the Sea. We'll have to link to that class.
Yeah. And it wasn't even my choice. Everybody voted for it. So
Oh, that's amazing.
believe it or not, I know it might seem like it was my my pick, but it wasn't. So I love it. Lots of chatter, lots of people watching tonight. Thank you guys, those of you that are joining us live. And if you're catching the replay, thank you for doing that as well. If you are creating with us tonight, again, whether you're making the same exact projects as us or you're going rogue and doing something completely different, we would love to see what you do create. So the hashtag is at the bottom of the screen, and then you can also tag Lawn Fawn, and you can tag me, Jen Shirkus. And again, we just love to see what you were inspired to make tonight. So I'm going to color my carrots next, and the tops of the carrots are all going to be that YG09, the little greenery on the carrots. Again, I was keeping it simple. I see my friend Lisa is here. She's in Connecticut, and she is one of my amazing friends that makes kits for me for classes that I teach in person and some online classes. So she just said she's taking a break from kitting and she's creating along with us tonight, which that makes me so happy because she works so hard at making the kits. So I'm glad she gets to play.
There's a question about the Always Adventure.
Oh, okay. So there's a question about It's Always an Adventure, which is funny because we were just emailing about this. And although nothing is set in stone, we're looking at something for early-ish 2025. So that's pretty exciting. And if you happen to be local, we will at some point this year be doing a warehouse sale with a make and take here at Lawn Fawn headquarters in Rancho Santa Margarita, which is like South Orange County, California. So I know we don't know when yet, but we're getting ready. We've never done something like this before. And I think it would be so much fun because we had such a blast having people come visit during It's Always an Adventure that we want to have company again. We want to hang out with everybody.
That sounds so fun. So now I'm going to do my carrots next, and we're just going to do the little carrots. So we've got a row of carrots, and then we've got 3 single carrots. And again, I kept it simple. I'm going to color them all golden yellow, this Y17, and then I'm going to just trace the lines on the carrots with the YR14. It's such a small area that's kind of a quick and easy way to add a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to color it all with the Y17 and then trace the lines with YR14.
I like how simple this coloring is, Jen.
I'm impressed. It might be because I was packing a whole house and a business when I designed these.
Well, I think what this shows is that like sometimes it's really fun to just go all out and have like 17 markers out and go crazy, and sometimes it's nice to just do something simple.
I agree. It's a good reminder for all of us, me included.
Yeah. This is good for me. I have had a crazy week. My little dog Mo had a double knee surgery on Monday because dogs can tear their ACLs and they can tear both of them. So it's been a crazy week, but she's doing great.
That's awesome.
So we're really grateful for that. But
Yay,
it's been
Mo.
a little hard. I know, go Mo.
And I jokingly said to Kelly, I hope she's a good patient because Mo is adorable and you just want to love on her, but she's a sassy little girl. She doesn't always want the love-ins. So
she doesn't know, but she has been actually pretty needy for Mo.
Needy. Like I had to pick her up and cuddle her because she was crying so much.
It's funny how when our animals don't feel well, like they're totally like, okay, I give in. Like you can take care of me.
Yeah.
100% was just hug me.
Because Mo has the biggest cat vibes of any dog I've ever met.
100%.
Yeah, she was given dog vibes today. She's like my Persian cat in a dog's body. That's the best way to describe Mo. And I love cats so much, but I'm very allergic to them. So she's my way of having a kitty.
Somebody just asked what markers I was using. So I'm putting them on the screen again for you guys for the carrots.
Yeah. And then Sophie, sorry, you have to excuse me, guys. I keep having all this. I have like, someone's asking if I'm sick. I'm actually not sick. I guess I have paradoxical vocal cord dysfunction, which sounds great for someone who talks a lot, you know. So I guess I have to go to speech therapy. That's my other latest thing. So I keep sounding funny. You might hear it in some of my videos too. So I promise I'm not sick. I'm just, my voice sounds crazy. But we have a really awesome question by Sophie, who said that she recently bought the large rectangle stackables and is wondering if over time they become warped and bent, if there's any way to make them flatter. So yes, it's a pretty thin die. And if you keep rolling it through the machine, you can imagine that it's going to start having this bend like this. Something that you could do is you could actually just turn it the other way and have it go through the machine. Instead of the short end going through the machine, the long end can go through. The other thing you can do, and actually you'll get an incredible cut this way as well, is when you put your rectangle die through the machine, turn it like this at a bit of an angle. It'll actually give you more even pressure across the whole die, and it'll help the die from getting that bend. I will also sometimes honestly just bend them a little with my hands. The good thing is they work no matter what, but I know sometimes it's kind of frustrating if they bend because you're trying to put them on top of the paper, but that's a really great way to kind of bend them back the other way.
Good. All right, we're going to color our carrot car next. Oh my gosh. Like one of my most favorite images from the whole spring release is this carrot car. I love it so much. Because this is a bigger area, I am going to start with, we're going to still use those same carrot colors, but I am going to start with the darker color. So I'm going to start with YR14. And what I'm going to do is trace along the top. So not that little trim. We're going to end up coloring that trim brown later, but just tracing along the top of the trim. And then I am going to trace down on those little carrot lines, just like so. And then I'm going to take my lighter color and yellows, oranges, light pinks, even light browns sometimes, they blend very quickly. So I'm just going to quickly go over this a little bit with the Y17, just to get the two to blend together. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to finish filling in the carrot with just Y17. And then I'm going to quickly go over it with YR14 again. Because again, sometimes those lighter colors, you lose the definition a little bit. And I just need those cute little carrot lines to show up nice and dark. So
I have to say, every time I color, Jen, I have that in my head from you, from listening to your coloring tips, all these, you know what I mean? To go back, I forget that, you know?
I've actually been getting in the habit of keeping my markers uncapped, especially if I know it's a color combo that I'm going to go back with. I've just been keeping that marker uncapped so it's even quicker and easier.
I like that because it reminds you like, oh, that's right. Go back to find the edge. Yeah.
Yep. I'm all about keeping things simple. Because I feel like I'm a lazy crafter. And I mean that in the nicest of ways, but I don't want things to be too complicated. I don't want things to take too long. So I'm always trying to think of like ways to be a little bit more efficient. So we're going to do the same thing with the next carrot card too.
Also, someone told me that speech therapy really works, and that makes me feel really good because I've been kind of like a little worried about it. So thank you so much because I really, really like to talk. I had 3 days where I couldn't speak because I would go into like these spasms in my throat. So for 3 days, I had to write on a Magna doodle.
Oh my gosh.
It was they kept messing with me, trying to get me to say, you know, having to explain things at length on a magnitude at work. But it was, I realized how much I really like to talk.
I think I also would have a really hard time not being able to talk. I think I might have shared this story on a creative previously. But I remember in second grade, my desk was put in the hallway because I was talking too much. So I was still able to hear what the teacher was teaching, but I wasn't distracting the rest of the class with chatter.
That's really funny.
In my defense, I was an only child and I didn't live near any friends. So like I went to school and I was like, this is my time to chat. It's just my time to chat. So I'm going back to that YR14 and just adding a little bit of that definition back in. If you feel it's too harsh, you can go back to your light marker to soften those edges too. I think that's something we forget when we're using alcohol-based markers is we can do a lot of back and forth. You can do light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, and keep going and going and going. It doesn't have to be just, 2 steps and done.
And then we have someone saying, which is so funny because this is what I've thought of the whole time with this stamp set, is that this carrot card makes him think of the Richard Scarry books. And that's one of my son's favorite books is Cars and Trucks and Things and Go. And every single time I think of the carrot car, and I want like a pickle car and all the other cars that are in the book. But I'm so glad that someone else saw that. And I also want to say Laura has the best boyfriend because he just bought her first Copic marker set and a hot foil plate kit. And I was like,
whoa, keep that boyfriend. Keep that boyfriend. That's so fun. So now I'm going to add some brown. I was like trying to be creative with the colors for the carrot car. And again, I'm envisioning that this is an actual carrot that the critters carved out into a car. Remember, I come up with all these stories in my head. And since it's an actual carrot, it came out of the ground. It has a little bit of dirt on it. So that's where we're getting the brown trim. And so I'm going to be using E29 for my dark brown and E25 for my light brown. And I'm going to take that dark brown, the E29, and I'm going to color in that trim right around the seat of the carrot car. It's just straight E29, just fill it in. And then the wheels are also going to be brown. So what I did is I'm filling in the center part of the wheel. And then I'm actually just tracing outside of that so that it's a little bit thicker. And then that is what I am going to end up blending. So I'm going to take my E25, kind of blend along that E29, and then finish filling in the tire with that E25. So it's really just giving a dense look towards the center of the tires is basically what my goal was.
I love this, Jen, because I had kept doing them like real tires, but it's so much better. It's like a little like wooden dowel or something they fashioned.
I don't know. It just seemed a little bit more storybookish to me, which is,
I love it.
I kind of sometimes get hung up, even with Lawn Fawn images, I sometimes get hung up on coloring things realistically. And I often see the Lawn Fawn design team go rogue with their colors. And I'm like, oh, you mean I could have a teal skunk? Like that's allowed? Yeah. And I like, sometimes I know. And I'm sometimes so like, I don't know. I just kind of stay by the rules sometimes with colors. So I'm trying to break out of doing that a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Someone colored their tire orange like it's a sliced carrot.
Oh my gosh. I bet that's so cute.
Oh my gosh. That sounds adorable.
I love it.
This is one of the best parts about Creative List is getting all these cute ideas from everybody.
I know. I love it.
And then someone mentioned asking if we'd ever make any better press plates. I mean, if you guys want them, we can make them. Have you guys been enjoying the better press? We'd love to hear about it. It seems like such a cool machine.
I love letterpress in general. I've loved it since I went to college and I took a letterpress class. I love it in fine stationery stores. So I'm so excited that I can do it in my own craft room fairly affordably. So yes, please. I would love better.
All right. Better press, letterpress. I love it's such a good name. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Those folks at Spellbinders are fantastic. They're very clever and creative.
Love it. Just reading some of the comments. You guys are so fun tonight. I can't believe it. We have over 200 people here with us. This is great.
Oh my goodness.
This is great. This is great. And so then the little green leaves for the carrot car. What I did for these is we're going back to using that, or I'm sorry, we're not going back. I'm going to use that YG09 again, but I'm going to bring in YG05 as well. So I'm going to start by coloring the greenery, the light color, the YG05 or any light green. And then I'm going to take my dark green marker, which in this case is the YG09. And I'm just going to kind of do some little leaf lines. So I'm just doing a sprig of lines from the base of the carrot up into those leaves. Hopefully that shows up on camera. And if you want to soften this, you can go back to your light green and just kind of dab over those lines. And then voila, you've got some dimensional carrot leaves. Very simple.
So cute.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Paintball mice is so cute.
Oh, that would be so cute.
Oh my goodness. Cucumber tires, donut tires. These are the best ideas. They're also making me hungry.
I know. I'm like, oh, I did just eat dinner, but now you guys are making me hungry for a snack.
But you don't want all these other things.
Yeah.
We did. We have a little bit of shake left. My tiny little 3-year-old was
Yeah, he snagged all your food.
He was taking all my fries, and then I think he had half of my shake.
Growth
and
spurt.
then I sent him to bed.
Your husband was stealing my fries, so
Yeah.
I have seen a bunch of people comment that this is their first time joining us live. So welcome, whether it's your first time or your 53rd time, although we haven't been live 53 times, but you never know.
We will one day.
One day. One day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then what we're going to do before we're done with our carrot colors is part of this. This is the Stitch Garden border, right, Kelly? This one here.
Yes.
Part of the Stitch Garden border is it had a carrot die. And that's actually why I used the Stitch Garden border, because I needed to do this. This right here, I had to do. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make the A carrot. So, anyways, what I had you guys do in the instructions is to cut the background of that carrot with just white cardstock. And then the front of the carrot, I cut with Lawn Fawn's fake tan cardstock. So what we're going to do with the white cardstock is just take either of our green markers. It doesn't matter, whichever one you want. And we're just going to go ahead and color those leafy greens. And I actually didn't add any dimension on my original sample. But you most certainly could if you wanted to, just like we did with the carrot car. And then the front part of the carrot, if you guys are creating along with us, the die adds these little grooves into the carrot lines. And I wanted to kind of accent those a little bit. So I'm going to take that YR14 marker and I'm just kind of tracing over those carrot lines because I wanted to see them because they're cute.
And then someone mentioned that an ice cream cone shaped car would be adorable for summer. I will say we do not have an ice cream cone shaped car, but if you love ice cream, there are multiple things in the release that you're going to like in May 16th.
Here come the secrets. Who's taking notes? I love it.
But if you love ice cream, you'll love the release.
So fun. I got distracted by the comments about ice cream. Ice cream is my absolute favorite. It is my weakness. Like I could eat ice cream every single day, 3 times a day.
Do. I eat Haagen-Dazs chocolate chip ice cream every single night. And I will often have it just for dinner, but I have it every night. It's like and you know what? My grandmother, who is 97 years old, has chocolate ice cream every single day. So I figure, you know what?
All right, done. Then I'm allowed to have ice cream every night.
Longevity. Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna do as your grandmother does because it's clearly working.
Yeah, we do as Mimi does.
Yeah. So next we're going to color our little bunnies. And I wanted to keep them very light because the whole card is very bright and light. So I'm just going to be using W2 and W0. And I am going to start with W2. And we're going to add the shadow. And this is probably not going to show up on camera very, very well, but hopefully you'll see on the coloring guides, where I did the shadow. But the bunny is facing to the right, so we're going to shadow the left of him. You very rarely want to shadow his face because that's a focal point. So I'm just doing kind of like a C around his face and a little bit up the base of his ears. I'm going to go under that left arm a little bit, around his little bum, between his legs, and a little bit under his chin. I see Shari just said, she goes, I think Jen made us stop and get ice cream one night when we came to visit her. I did, because I think, if I remember correctly, Shari and her husband Matt came to visit. They'd never been to New England, so I was so excited. They came in September. And I feel like Chris, my boyfriend, Matt, and Shari all had something for dessert, but I didn't, and I was craving ice cream. So we just did like a little beeline, and I got ice cream. No shame.
I mean, I keep drinking my chocolate shake, so.
Yeah. And so now I'm going to blend with W0, but I'm definitely going to lose some of that definition. So I have my W2 uncapped and ready to dab some more of that in once I get things blended. So, again, this part, I know it's really light, so it's probably not going to show up as well on camera, but if you're coloring along with me, it'll show up for you in person for sure.
And someone's asking if we'll be offering the sale that was for sale, the set that was recently free. Yes. So our gift with purchase sets eventually become available, usually about a year later. So that set will eventually be available. We just don't know exactly when yet, but it is a cute one. Also,
Cute.
I don't know. There's who knows if maybe one day we even bring it back. The gift with purchase.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's been chatter about it.
I was gonna say that's been a conversation.
There's been chatter.
Oh, you mean like buy it and have it as a gift with purchase again if you missed out the first time?
Chatter, so
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, so keep an eye out. Make sure you're signed up for our emails. And plus our emails are fun, and we're working on more and more emails that just have like lots of great information about like an interactive die or things like that. So so make sure you're signed up for our newsletter, because there's lots of good informative stuff in there too.
I love it. And so now that I'm all blended out, we are going to rosy his ears and his cheeks, but I want to kind of let that alcohol evaporate first. If we were to dab his cheeks right now, because the cardstock is pretty damp, it would kind of wick out, and I really want it to sit on top of the cheeks and be nice and rosy. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. So next what we're going to do is we're going to color our banner here. And I know none of you will be surprised that I colored it teal. And I know none of you will be surprised that I used my favorite teal combo. So I used BG13, BG32, and BG11. I know that those of you that take a lot of my online classes are not shocked at all. I mean, look at my nail polish. Look at this, Kelly.
Oh my gosh, you're matching it. You just have to planned it that way, right?
I did. That just kind of cracks me up.
That's really funny. That's super cute.
So I'm going to turn my banner sideways, because I'm just going to find it easier to color, because we're going to kind of do layers up the banner to kind of make it dark at the base and lighten as it goes up. So I'm starting with the BG13, and I'm just going to trace that bottom. And you could do this with just 2 colors if you wanted, but sometimes I like to throw in this BG32 if it's a little bit of a larger area. It just kind of makes the blend a lot easier, but it's definitely not necessary. I saw somebody ask me to share the grays that I colored the bunnies again. I used W2 and W0. And just remember, there is a downloadable handout with the coloring guide. So if you miss anything, you can actually rewind a live YouTube video and right now if you wanted to. And then you also could download the handout as well. So,
All
so
right,
now
let's see. Oh, sorry. You keep going,
no,
Jen.
I was just going to say, so now I'm going to take the BG32 and I'm just going to color basically a little bit over that BG13 and then extend that color up. Again, the blend is pretty easy because we're using this third color. And then I'm going to finish it off with the BG11.
The BG32 really just
It just makes it easy.
It just takes the frustration out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't always use it. And then the days that I use it, I'm like, why don't I always use it?
We forget.
That's the one I always use.
I always forget the
No,
BG32.
Well,
Rebecca can add more markers. She's going to add more markers.
Well, I was just going to say, you guys know I'm the 2-color combo girl. Like, I very rarely use 3 markers. So I just don't think to bring.
I'm the 5 or 6 color combo girl.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So I know, as I said, if Rebecca can add another color, but I mean, your coloring is stunning. So we've got a couple of questions here. Number one, somebody said that black licorice ice cream is amazing. And
where is this?
I don't know, but I love black licorice and I need to know where you can get black licorice. And now I need it. Right? That sounds so good. And then there's a couple of really great questions. One of them is, will there be a die set for the mushroom set that was a freebie in Valentine's? Yes. So once we come out with the gift with purchase about a year later, then we'll have the die available for it then. So once that comes out, we'll have, the dies for that. And then someone also mentioned that they love the new cards that we put in orders with the QR code to the Give It a Whirl. So whether you went to your favorite local store or you came to lawnfawn.com, you got these awesome cards that have a QR code that leads you right to a page that has the intro video for Give It a Whirl and some cute cards. So I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed those. And if you loved the freebie Narwhal from Black Friday, that's going to be available in summer for the May 16th release. So that's going to be really awesome. And then a couple people have been talking about how they're going to be making Give It a Whirl cards. And I love that her daughter-in-law loves the interactive cards. So she's making her one. And I just love that so much.
So fun. All right. So now we're going to color our little wagon, our little cart next. So I used that E29 again, E23 and E21. And so I'm going to work dark to light. So I'm going to start with that E29 and I am going to color in the centers of the wheels and just keeping it in the lines this time. Not that you could totally do the same thing we did with the carrot if you wanted, but I kept it in the lines. And then I am going to trace the lines on the cart that are already there for us with the E29. So there's these 3 little lines, kind of the planks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my marker, and if you have some scratch cardstock, you might want to practice this. But I'm going to do some little lines coming out from the left and the right. And I'm actually going to do a few practice swipes on my corner of my coloring guide here. But Kelly and I have done this before in a live. I personally like to pull towards me, but if I remember correctly, Kelly likes to push away from herself. The trick is you don't want to hold your marker tightly. And you want to have a light hand and you just want to like lightly drag or push your marker. And so this is why having a little bit of scratch paper just to kind of get a feel for how you want to do it. Again, I like to pull towards me. Kelly finds it easier to push away. I do find holding the cart vertically instead of horizontally will be a little bit easier. And so again, I'm just going to do some little feathery lines on the left side and the right side. Doesn't matter how many or what it looks like. It's just adding some little wood grain texture on those sides.
All right. And then someone is asking for QR codes with photos for all of the interactive dies. And I think that's a great idea. Maybe, Rebecca, we can write that down we can start kind of adding those in for the team to make those.
So now I'm going to take that E23 and I'm going to start to blend wherever we did the E29, our darkest brown. So I'm going right over those feathery lines. And I'm going right over those stamped lines that we traced with the E23. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my E21 and blend and finish filling in.
Somebody's trying to color with a 6-month-old kitten who thinks he's her assistant.
Oh boy.
That must be some interesting coloring.
I want to see pictures of the kitten.
I know, right? Oh,
so cute.
Where you get black licorice ice cream.
Oh, we got to go to Canada.
I do not like black licorice.
I think you're kicked out of the club because it seems like a lot of people like it here.
My grandmother loved it, but
yeah, I feel like it's either you either like it or you don't. You know, I like those strong flavors.
I don't even like the smell of it. Like if somebody ate a black jelly bean around me, I would be like, bleh.
Yeah, Mike doesn't like it at all, and it's great because then I get all the black jelly beans. My brother loved it, and I had to share the black jelly beans with him.
I'm guessing that Shari just said me either, Jen, gross. So East Coast Fawnies, no black licorice.
No black licorice.
Yeah, that's Shari. So
that's what I figured. The carrot is coming from the Stitched Garden border.
Yes, and a couple people had some cute ideas for the carrot. They were stamping one from the Carrot About You set. If you got the Simply Celebrate Veggies set as a gift of purchase, there's a carrot in there. So people were getting really creative.
So many fun ways.
Yeah.
You could have probably made the Stitched Oliver A look like a carrot. Like put a green top on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, how cute would that be?
Yeah. So I just traced the inner part of the tire with the E23, and then I'm going to finish those tires off with the E21, just so they have a little bit of definition and brightness. And that is our cart.
Oh gosh, a lot of people are saying how helpful it would be for the QR code. That's awesome to know that.
Down. I will be telling Allison.
And then if also so that you guys know that if you go to our website, so you could type in Magic Iris, for example, and you just click it, the video for it is always embedded in the site. So let's say you were doing an older interactive die like Magic Color Slider, you could go to the Magic Color Slider on our website and you're going to have the video linked right there and you can click it and make it bigger and watch the intro video there too. But I think the QR codes would be very helpful, but they are there too, which is a nice quick way to find the videos instead of trying to search through YouTube.
I realize that my Copic marker names are not necessarily the new names.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, Baby Skin Pink is real creepy.
Yeah, I've had my Copics for over 15 years, and they're working great. So I'm not gonna buy a new marker just to have the new name, but it is the same color, so no worries.
Yes,
let's change the name.
Yeah, and I do think that the new name sounded much better. It was
for sure.
And I love that. Soft Sun is beautiful. So I know I have some of the new names and some I don't. But
I changed out all your names.
No, because I still have.
Oh. Huh.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I am coloring
everybody.
We were playing pool and we drank our high-notes.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about that.
Yeah, we've got Dave here from the team.
Because we're supposed to be popular.
They've been playing pool because there is a pool table. This is Create with us.
Yeah, you're like live on YouTube.
He's our director of operations. You're live.
Some lag going on.
Yeah, we're now on YouTube.
What's that all about?
Oh yeah, there's a lag.
There is a lag. Yeah.
But there is a pool table at Lawn Fawn, and so sometimes you have to stay and play.
So I'm coloring the sign next, and I am going to be using E23 for the shadow. So I just shadowed the right side of the post, and then I added those little wood grain lines to the left and the right. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with E21. Oh gosh, the new names came out like over a decade ago.
Yeah. We just have really old markers.
Yeah. I've been
Well,
coloring
some of
with
my
Copic.
markers were
Yeah.
some of my markers were a very awesome garage sale find. Oh, you're getting all sorts of hellos, Dave.
Hello,
Oh,
everyone.
yeah. No.
I actually think I've been coloring with my Copics for 20 years because I think it was 2004.
One fun customer's on. Say hi.
Gail said hi. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Sheila and Mindy.
He's Chaos Designs. Well, hello, Chaos Designs. Lawn Fun. Hi, Dave. Hey, Lawn Fun.
And that's Shari.
I know Sean.
Well, no, Lawn Fun is Shari right now.
Oh.
That's no, that's Shari.
Yeah, everybody know how much fun we have.
We do. This office, I mean, you guys see our reels. It is kind of, it's just full chaos here all the time.
That's fine.
No, Kelly had some problems with it.
No, I'm good now because it's just my face right now.
Oh,
When you did it on your cell phone, though, remember?
I know, but it was that's my
yeah, that's good.
yeah. But yeah, we have a pool table and a foosball table and a golf simulator. Oh, and a ping pong table and a basketball hoop.
And they actually still get work done.
We do.
Sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
Sometimes. But we do have a lot of fun here.
All
I
right.
have to tell you, my sign lines leave something to be desired. I got to work on them.
You kind of have to be in the flow. That's why
I know I didn't have
do a little practicing.
I didn't. Yeah. Sometimes my hands just don't want to do the flicks. That's okay. I've got a solution here. I'm going to kind of fill in
yours is gonna look cute no matter
mine
what.
looks like when you get really bad bangs when you're like in 4th grade and they're like stringy. That's what mine look like.
Well, they said, I don't know if I missed this because I was out talking to Dave.
Perfect.
Mice pool.
Mice playing pool. I mean, that would do well around here. Yeah, we've got the golf simulator. Oh my gosh, Mike and Dave were playing actual golf this week.
Oh, Heidi just commented. She lives here on the Cape and she also kits for me, but she used to shop at the store I managed, and she said, "Easy, Jen. Mine are from 2008, so old school." Yeah, I think mine are from, gosh, I don't know. I think they're from 2004, but I keep saying 15 years, and I've said it for a long time now, so I feel like we might be up to 20 years now.
Maybe some of mine were garage sale finds too, so we don't even know they
yeah.
have a history to them. But yeah, they were a fun garage sale find by Jess here, who, if you ever write info at Lawn Fun, you're talking to Jess. And so she bought them all up from the garage sale, and then we just bought whatever, everyone went through them and bought the colors that we wanted.
I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. We're going to rosy the bunnies' cheeks. I'm going to use R30, and I'm going to add a little pink to their inner ears and their nose.
Oh my goodness, I love this. Unicorns playing tennis. This is good. Okay, everybody wants a job here. This is really fun.
I mean,
How many staff are at? So actually here in the office was about 12 to 14 of us. But there's about 25 of us total, 23 to 25 of us. But here in the office, I think it's like 12. It just depends on every day is different. Some people are 5 days a week here. Some people are 2 days a week. So it just kind of depends. We have some students that come in and out. So it's pretty fun.
Yay.
Definitely very much a family affair. Children work here.
Yes. Well, Rebecca's child has come here as a kid and then also
both my children.
Yeah, and then worked here. Yeah.
Yeah, both my kids worked here, and now my daughter and both comes here and works. But she was a little kid running around the building.
Yeah. When she used to get bored, we just say run around the building. She would just run around. Bye. Have a good night. Oh, I colored my flag upside down. It'll still be okay.
It'll still be cute.
Yeah, I did it. I did mine like that. That's okay. It's cute.
I'm trying to find my blog. I'm getting used to all my new drawers and oh boy. Okay.
I know. I'm looking for my stamp set.
So we are going to use the Carrot About You banner add-on, and you can pick any of the sentiments that you want in your banner. Just kind of remember, if you're doing the same card as us, the main sentiment is going to say, I carrot, thank you enough. So I'm going to do thank you again. And you're just going to stamp that with black ink.
I like this little banner set because it's so cute with the carrot cards, but I would put it behind like another vehicle or an airplane or even like a bird flying. I think it'd be really cute.
Oh yeah, it's super cute. And then the other thing that we are going to stamp that I didn't have as part of the homework is you're going to pick whatever little sentiment you want in your little sign. So on mine, I did spring has sprung, but you can do whatever you would like.
Somebody's also looking for the bunny tails.
I didn't color the bunny tail, and you're not actually going to see the bunny tail because it's sitting in the carrot car.
And then somebody wants to hear the story of how Lawn Fawn started.
Oh,
Considering it is Lawn Fawn's birthday this weekend, I feel like
that's
Oh,
true.
I
So,
forgot to mention that. So start.
oh my
with that.
gosh, that's right.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, sorry. Let's start from the beginning.
Let's start from the beginning. So March 10th is Lawn Fawn's 14th birthday, which is pretty exciting. So in March 10th, 2010 is when we opened. And how we started it is I've always been a crafter. I used to make cards like for my family. I made thumbprint animal cards. I would make them for people in college, like thank you and birthday cards. I just loved making cards always. And I know Jen was the same way, making cards really young. And at some point, I sort of the very beginnings of YouTube was Googling card making and came across clear stamps. And I had never seen anything like it before. And this was before you could find a clear stamp at a craft store, really. I mean, they were brand new. And I was just like fell in love with them, ordered some clear stamps right away and started making with them. And I used to sell my cards and stuff in boutiques in LA and things like that. But I really just loved this so much. And I thought, well, what if like we sold products of this? And I loved cute critters and cute things. And at the time, the trend was really like shabby chic, which was gorgeous. But I wanted my food to be smiling at me, you know. I wanted like critters to be driving carrot cars. And so I got together with one of my best friends from college, Erica, and my husband, and we started the company. We started with 4 stamp sets on a website, and that was it. And I used to go to local stores and like solicit them to sell the stamps, and I would write stores, and we went to trade shows, and that's kind of how we grew the business. That's how I met Jen, and that's how we kept growing Lawn Fawn. And then now we get to be here crafting with all of you beautiful, wonderful people.
Yay! Happy birthday.
Yay! I know, and I'm going to be with Erica this weekend. We're getting together with the kids on Sunday. So we'll get to be together for the 14th birthday too.
Aw, that's so fun. I love that. So if you are making the platform pop-up tonight, I am using the little stitched label for the front, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp Happy Spring on there. But again, you can do whatever sentiment you would like. What I love about Lawn Fawn's sentiment stamps is that the clear stamp is cut into a rectangle. So it's actually really easy to line them up. You can see on my table here, I'm lining them up so that they kiss and touch each other. And then they're in a nice straight line. And I'm just going to use an acrylic block to pick that up. And if I ever want an exclamation point at the end of my sentiment, this is now when I put the exclamation point on. Otherwise, it kind of just falls all over the place and you're just going to get frustrated. So once the last word is on my block or my Misty, I then go ahead and add in that exclamation point. And then you're not fighting with it kind of bending all around.
And I love how the sentiments mix and match. And if you've been playing with the Henry's Build a Sentiment set, that's how it it's just so fun. It feels like you're playing with those old word poems, the magnetic poetry.
Yeah. I was actually designing my cards. I'm actually going to be teaching some in-person classes at Firefly Farm in May, which is a store in Minnesota. I'll be teaching lawn fawn classes. And I was designing those and getting those all ready for some kits to be made. And I was using that Henry's Build a Sentiment so much. And I was like having so much fun, like, ooh, what sentiments can I make? Like I was getting like all creative. I was having a blast. So love it.
I decided to do a hoppy spring.
Oh, I love it. Perfect.
I decided at the end, this is the other place where exclamation points are great. I stamped it slightly off center. I'm going to add an exclamation point.
Add a little exclamation point, add a little heart.
Done. It's fixed.
Yep. Yeah, somebody said they think their first lawn fawn set way back was the Say Cheese, and she still has it. That was a set.
I think that was our first set that it really caught a bunch of traction. It was one of those really exciting, like, oh my goodness, everyone's so excited about this set.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. Someone says to get ourselves a cake. That would be fun to surprise Erica and her family. I might have to do that.
That's actually a really good
idea.
That's
such a good idea.
Well, our very first Create With Us was with the bubble set, and it was for your birthday. And remember, I had gluten-free cookies shipped to you, and I had a cupcake.
Oh my gosh, that's right. And then we regretted eating on camera.
Yeah, and then we realized we're not very graceful at eating on camera. Although I kind of wish that we had cupcakes and cookies right now.
I mean, I do too, honestly.
Well, I mean, I do. We should have saved the cupcakes from the party this morning.
Miles had one of his friends' 4th birthday. So we had these little mini cupcakes that were so delicious.
Fun. All right, you guys, we are going to make our background for this card right here. And we are going to use the Spring Blossom stencil.
Sounds about right.
Yes. Yes.
I'm with you, Jen.
I love how Kelly just stood there smiling, like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, literally, like, this is your turn, Kelly.
It's my turn. I know. It's been a long week.
I know. I'm sorry.
I am pretty sure it's the Spring Blossom stencil.
Yes.
Of course, now you guys have me questioning, but I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm like 85% sure. Hold on.
Well, you guys have the handout in front of you. That's why I was asking.
Shari said it's a Spring Blossom.
So the fun thing about this is I love this stencil. It's stencil set. It's one of my favorite lawn fawn stencil sets. But this is a good little segue. I just want to mention our next Create With Us in April. We will be back, and we are going to be working with all the fun stitched root veggies, and we're actually going to be watercoloring. So I'm going to be using distress watercolors, pencils, but you could also use distress inks, or you could even use distress oxides to watercolor, or any other watercoloring medium that you enjoy. But I just wanted to mention we're using that stencil again. So Janabler alert. We're getting a lot of use out of the stencil because I just love it so much.
I love it. I am so excited for this class, by the way, because I can't wait to know how to use those stencils. I don't understand how to use them, so I am so excited about it.
Yay. I think, is it March? I'm sorry. Is it April?
April 19th.
Thank you.
April 19th.
April 19th is our next Create With Us. So mark your calendars now. You guys can actually sign up for the notification on YouTube now because the live is already scheduled. And so hopefully we'll see all of you then as well. Yes. All right.
We have a couple questions I just want to catch up really quick before we cancel. So someone is hoping for some more Henry's Build a Sentiments. We are already talking about a fall winter one, so I'm so glad you guys are excited about that. And someone asked if we'll get a new summer sentiment set. There is an awesome ice cream related summer sentiment set that you guys are going to love. So that's going to be awesome. But Build a Sentiment is definitely going to come back for fall winter for sure. And a lot of the sentiments in the Henry's Build a Sentiment are going to be perfect for summer cards as well, which is great. And I also really, really love seeing all of your first stamps. I can't tell you, it makes me so happy to hear the first ones that you guys found, and it just makes me smile. So
Yay! And somebody mentioned that they're going to use pattern paper for their background today, which is perfect. I think that's awesome. And I also love that somebody said that they already have this background stencil, so they can't get enabled if they already have it.
That's so good. And someone mentioned they actually use so in Lawn Fawn orders, we put in a couple of pieces of pattern paper in there. And I love that you're using the paper that we throw in too.
Yeah, that is so awesome. So I'm going to do my background on some white cardstock. I like to ink blend on Distress White Heavy Stock. I think it gives a really nice smooth blend. It's also nice and bright and white. And so that's my favorite to use. I use a little bit of, the Mono removable adhesive. And I just put a couple lines of that on the back of my paper. And then I use the Wendy Vecchi Make Art magnetic board. So I'm going to place my paper down. And we are going to be using all 3 stencils tonight. I'm going to start with the stems. It doesn't matter which one you start with. I'm just going to start with the stems. And it's kind of important with this one to kind of make sure that you're finding that Lawn Fawn's website etched in the plastic. And I always like to have that, make sure it's legible, that the words are the right way and that it's pointing towards me. And I'm going to place my stencil over my white cardstock. And I try to line it up with the grid on my magnetic board. It'll just make it easier when I line up again. Although this stencil also has the etching, which is going to make it really easy to line up. So we'll have lots of things helping us, which is always good to have many things help us, especially on a Friday night.
Yes.
And then again, I'm using that magnetic board, the Make Art Station. So I'm just placing those magnets in place.
And here I'm just showing that I happen to just grab my stamp wheel.
Oh,
you
perfect.
can also use washi tape to hold it. There's so many ways that you can do it. So there's lots of cool tools out there, or you can just use something like some washi tape to hold it down too.
Yep. Whatever you have is perfect.
Yeah. And someone was asking, how many employees do we have? We have around 25 employees. Some people are full-time, some people are part-time. There's people that have worked here, gosh, probably up to about 12 years now.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who worked when Lawn Fawn was still at our house. So if you've ever gotten a thank you note from Ivy, I bet you have.
Yes.
She's been here for about 12 years with us. So it's pretty awesome.
Love it. So I'm going to do this layer of this stencil with Lawn Fawn Celery Stick, which is a really nice, soft, light green. And I will just say, when I was doing this background, I really did want to keep it very soft. And I'm just saying that out loud because I'm very heavy-handed. So by saying it out loud, I'm going to remind myself to have a light hand. But you guys can, again, your background could be however you want it to be. So we're going to start with, again, a light green. So I'm going to use Celery Stick. I like to kind of ink up my blender brush, and then I tap that off on a non-porous surface. My desktop is made of glass. And then I'm just going to go right in with a soft, gentle hand, and I'm going to blend around. I figure I can always build up the layers and make it darker if I want it to be darker, but I can't take ink away. So I like to start soft. Even if I didn't want this background to be light, I always like to try to start soft so I can kind of get a feel for what I want it to look like.
And then I saw that somebody got a new Misty, which is
awesome. That's exciting. Did they get the teal Misty?
I want to know which color. I still have my original one, which was actually, if not the first, one of the very first she ever sold. So I'm proud to have that one because it's such a cool product.
That's so cool.
Such a cool tool. And then someone wanted to know, this is such a good question, was what's Jen's first Lawn Fawn set?
Oh boy. I should know this. I definitely know Sophie's Sentiments was one of my first. I adored Sophie's Sentiments.
I remember
AKA,
your card. Like I can literally see it on the cards.
like AKA Bring It Back, Please.
Yeah.
Let me think about that. Because it's so funny. I just shared a card with you that I made 9 years ago with Gleeful Gardens, which I know is Kelly's favorite set. I'm trying to think. Oh, it was Critters and the Burbs. Critters and the Burbs was my first
you did
set.
it. So the first set you got is the actual first
Yes.
you've ever done.
Although it wasn't the first year Lawn Fawn was around. I discovered Lawn Fawn a year or two after. I actually, for those of you guys that don't know, I used to manage a paper crafting store here on Cape Cod. And I also used to teach classes to almost all of the stores, like all over New England. I used to drive and teach. And one store that I used to teach at every month for like 9 years, I would teach a Thursday night class and I would stay over at one of the owner's houses and I would teach a Friday morning class. And then I would drive back to the Cape. Was Ink About It in Westford, Mass. But my store had closed and I was still teaching at Ink About It. And they went to CHA Creativation. And I did not go that year because I wasn't managing a store anymore. And they came back and they were like, Jen, we found the best stamp company for you. You need to teach classes for us with their products. And so they handed me a Lawn Fawn set. Now, back in the day, I created all of my cards with wood-mounted stamps. And back in the day, there were some clear stamps on the market that weren't the best quality. So they didn't stamp great. So Ink About It handed me a Lawn Fawn set. It was a clear set. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these images are so cute, but it's a clear set. And I was like, bon, 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 you know, but I didn't really say that out loud. That was in my head. So I brought this at home to Cape Cod and I started stamping with it. And I was like mind blown because it was almost like stamping with a red rubber stamp. It stamped so nicely and the images were adorable. And so I started teaching Lawn Fawn classes at Ink About It before I even knew anybody at Lawn Fawn. So
amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. We have a couple other things. Nikki was asking for Stitch sentiment banners. You're going to be so happy come May 16th, Nikki. And then Laura asked if we have any sentiments in Spanish, and we do. And hopefully Shari or Rebecca can link those for you. And then I love hearing everyone's more of their first sets. I love that someone's first was Gleeful Gardens because that is one of my favorites. I love it so much. And oh my goodness, I know Shari's was Winter Bunny. And then do you remember you remember
Mine was the speech bubble. What was the little birds and the speech
Oh,
bubbles?
A Birdie Told Me.
That's it. That
Yep,
was mine.
that's Rebecca's.
Like, I can never remember the name of it, but
oh my goodness. Someone keeps hoping for a Thor note one day. You might happen. You might get a Miles one too. Miles does them with Ivy sometimes.
That's so fun. So real quick, Kelly, because I want you to keep answering questions, but I just wanted to let people know I'm switching to the second stencil. I'm using the flower one that has the larger spaces. So you can kind of tell. It doesn't matter. You can do this in any order. I just want to explain what I'm doing in case people are following along. So it's the one that has a lot of flowers and they're more open spaces. So I made sure I lined my stencil up. And what I'm going to be doing is I am going to use Lawn Fawn Butter Ink. And this is a very light yellow. And then just so you guys know, the next stencil, the top, I'm going to use Lawn Fawn Sunflower. So right now I'm going to use butter because it's going to be kind of the lower layer. And then I'm going to put sunflower on top with that third stencil. So go ahead.
Oh, awesome. So someone was asking if this was their first create with us and if we had other ones of these. Yes. So we're going to link you to, we'll make sure to link it again to our main create with us page. You'll see that this one's at the top, but if you keep scrolling down, not only will you find a link to all of these awesome like PDFs that we're working with this time, but you'll also find the links to the replay. So there's replays of all of the create with us's that we've done, and also a replay of this one will be up once we get there. So you definitely need to check out that Create With Us page because it has all of these awesome resources and the links to the videos too. Oh my gosh. So there was a poll. They said that Ivy had filled 43% of their orders. And yeah, Ivy is amazing. I said, Ivy has been here for a really long time. Ivy could fill an order in her sleep, I think now. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. I can't wait to tell her.
Somebody's asking who illustrates the stamp.
So someone is asking, okay. Oh, I'll make sure to answer that. Someone was asking a question about the next month's Create With Us. And they were looking for vegetable sets. And if you type in the word veggies, you'll find them, but there's stitched garden veggies and stitched root veggies. That's what we're going to be using in the Create With Us with those awesome distressed pencils.
And real quick, you can download the handout right now, and it has a list of all the supplies we're going to use. And on that Create With Us page, there's even a link to all the products as well.
Perfect. And then we got some people saying they're going to be attending the L'Enfant Soiree, Jen, from when you mentioned it.
Oh, yay.
And somebody's going back to their local store to get the stitch veggies, which is awesome.
Love that.
It's such a fun dye.
I'm going to say it is one of my favorites. The stitch veggies.
They're so cute.
Much fun.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I have to tell you, I love seeing all of your first sets. And I know, Jen, you'll talk a little bit and then I can answer some more questions.
So I was just going to show you, I finished the second layer. So I'm going to go ahead and do the third layer. And again, I'm going to use a darker yellow. So I am going to use the sunflower ink.
And every time I do this butter ink, it really does look like butter.
I'll tell you, it was a sleeper ink in my stash, but last spring I started using it and now I use it so much. I love it. Just bear with me, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, there's that awkward delay. So we will just wait and see if it. Oh, good. We're back. Okay.
We're back.
Sorry.
Hey. So there's some more questions. Also, we were saying it's great that someone has a Mike card, and Rebecca was saying that her first one was a Mike one too. So hopefully you guys will get a Miles one day as well. And now let's see where there was another question. There were some really great ones. Oh, someone wanted to know who illustrates the stamps. So as I was telling the story earlier about how L'Enfant formed, my friend Erica is an incredible illustrator, and so she illustrates most of the stamps. We also work with some amazing artists as well that will draw stamps that they'll work together with Erica to create them. So I'm just so grateful that I get to work with someone as incredibly talented as Erica. So when you look at a L'Enfant set and that cuteness that just makes you smile, that comes from Erica for sure.
And the neat thing about that too is Erica actually isn't a card maker. So she will illustrate these amazing things, and she gets a lot of input from you, Kelly, who is a card maker. And you're like, well, you got to tweak it a little bit so it's like this, so it'll work for this. And so I just think it's so cool how you guys make such an awesome team.
It's so fun. Yeah. So Erica's not a crafter, and she never has been, although she loves a handmade card and loves crafting, but she really is an illustrator. And so it's really fun to get to work together on these because she'll come up with an idea that us as crafters, I think, would have never thought of, because sometimes when you craft, you get stuck in those like thoughts of what things need to be. And so she comes up with the coolest stuff. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, Erica, like Say Cheese. Somebody was talking about that set earlier. That was a set where I was like, I need this set. I need there to be a Polaroid, and I need to be able to put cute stamps and sentiments inside of it. And so we go back and forth, which is really awesome.
I love this stencil so much.
It's one of my favorites. It's so beautiful.
It's so fun. While we're ink blending, we are going to take out our little garden border, whatever you guys are going to use for a little garden. It could literally just be a piece of brown cardstock. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And I'm just going to ink
earlier someone mentioned earlier using the sandy accents, and that would work really well to
yeah.
to create the little like mounds.
And so I'm going to just use a little bit of dough ink to just kind of dirty up our dirt a little bit.
Dirty up our dirt.
Dirtying up our dirt.
I love all the Canadian set ideas. That's so fun. Someone didn't get a QR code little thing. If you write us at info@lawnfawn.com, we can always send that to you or send you the information so you can see pictures of what that little postcard looks like. Let's see. Oh my goodness.
So I'm just cleaning off my desk with a little isopropyl alcohol. It's going to take away all that ink and it dries right away because that's all the ink blending that we're going to do. So I think we'll actually start with our regular card first and we'll finish it off with a bang and do our platform pop-up second. So go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to see, someone was saying that they weren't super familiar with Lawn Fawn and that they are saying this is so beautiful. So we are so thrilled that you're here, Ellie. We hope you'll keep joining us for more Create With Us events because we're so happy that you're here.
Yeah, super fun. So what we're gonna do on this this card right here is we are going to put our sentiment on. All right. And so I used stitched Oliver's ABCs. And we're also going to bring in that carrot that we colored earlier. So I'm going to peel that off of my tape. And I'm going to go ahead and put my carrot together with just a little bit of glue tube.
I just love, and I love yellow. So this makes me so happy, this background. It's the happiest, best color.
I'm proud of myself for not making it teal. I'm always proud of myself when I do different colors.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
I just put a little bit of glue tube on to attach my carrot. And then I'm just putting an acrylic block on there just to kind of set the two together. So as that glue is drying, it'll kind of stay flat and stay together.
I did want to, I know we're not doing this part quite yet, but since sometimes people work ahead, someone's asking if there's a stamp with the letter I by itself.
That's a good question. What did I do? No, I'm going to masking it. I didn't cut my stamp. It is still whole. Although you could cut your stamp and the world won't end. But I'll share with you what I'm going to do to stamp that in just a minute.
Got it.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to just use the grid on my Make Art Station. You could use any grid or a ruler. And I am going to start to lay out my letters. Not forgetting that little carrot as our A. And this word is going to fill our card pretty much. So I'm going to lay my card right. I mean, you can lay just your background. It doesn't have to be the actual card because you guys don't have a finished card yet, probably. So you're just going to lay your background. And then that way, as you start to space out your letters, you'll make sure you're not going to go off the page. And so once I get this T in place, I might see I have to like scooch things a little bit, but I actually did okay this time.
And then someone was asking me, do the fonts in the main stamp sets have names? Those ones don't. We usually only name a font when it's like a stamp set or a die cut set. So those ones don't have names. But when we do name fonts, what we try to do is imagine who would write with this kind of handwriting, and that's how we decided. So like our very first stamp set, Harold ABC, for some reason, even though it doesn't look like Harold in the purple crayon, it reminded me of Harold on the purple crayon. So that's why it's Harold ABC.
Really?
I love it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a piece of the Best Ever Craft Tape. It's just a low tack tape. I still like to touch it to my skin once, just when it's a brand new piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it right on my letters. So I'm going to be able to pick all of these up as one unit. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip these guys over. And I am going to use scrapbook adhesives, foam strips, which are the best things ever in the world. And I am going to add foam strips behind all of my letters. So I'll be doing that while Kelly's still chatting.
I know. And if you guys have been making Give It a Whirls, you know this is the foam that we use for the Give It a Whirls too.
Yes.
And let's see, someone asked, do we have any music stamps? And we do. And I think somebody linked you to them, but that's actually how Erica, Mike, and I met was playing in the pit orchestra for musicals. So we definitely have some music sets for sure. People say that the stencil looks like printed paper, which it really does. And someone's asking, there's a scallop treat box doghouse add-on. They're asking if there's a cat one, and that would be really cute to do that. But I bet you could kind of turn the doghouse one into a cat one with some creativity. And I love that somebody still has Cozy Christmas and Lunar Lights. Those are some fun older sets. Lunar Lights. We should bring that back for Lunar New Year next year.
For that
yeah.
for years.
I'm gonna say, there's a couple people who have their first set has been RAR, which I love that.
That's such a fun set.
I know I'm putting my back on a card base right now.
Brag.
Yeah,
I am.
right
there. I know.
She just wants to tell us that, we should have card bases, don't have cards.
Yeah. You guys know
I'm doing much better, but it did make me laugh when I was holding this up.
You guys know I'm a total teacher's pet, so I'm just trying to be a teacher's pet.
Well, that doesn't work when the teacher doesn't care to put them on card bases.
Neither does the other student.
Yeah.
All right. I have my foam on my letters. So now I'm going to peel the liner off. This is just the part you want to just be gentle so you're not peeling the letters off of your low tack tape. Although this is a new piece of low tack tape. I reuse this tape over and over and over to the point where I'm like, Jen, treat yourself to a new piece. It's gonna be okay.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. This is also the tape that I use to hold my dies in place when I'm doing my die cutting. So I use it for many different things, which I love when there's one supply that you can do a lot of different things with. So I am going to get this peeled off. And then once we have this peeled off, I am going to put my background back on the grid. I don't have the removable adhesive, but that's fine. What I'm going to do is throw my ruler on the floor is what I'm going to do. This comes with a magnetic ruler, and it's a 0 centering ruler, which I love. So I am going to lay it down. And for those of you guys that love a good measurement, I am going approximately 1.5 inches from the top is where my letters are the tops of my letters are gonna be. And so now I'm gonna use this ruler to make sure my letters are nice and straight. So I'll just gently press that down, and then I'll gently peel that low tack tape away. If you're using a wet adhesive, like maybe you didn't want to pop up your letters, just leave the tape in place. Let that wet adhesive dry before you peel the tape away. And just so you guys know, this big piece of Best Ever Craft Tape is going to get stuck on my desk, and I will be using it again. All right, so for something like this, I am going to use my Misty to stamp the rest of the sentiment. I love to use an acrylic block when I'm stamping sentiments most of the time, but something like this where I might need to stamp it again, having that Misty is really great, or any stamping platform. So I'm going to stamp thank you enough first, and that's going to get tucked right below our orange letters. And I'm going to stamp that with black ink. My desk is becoming very messy.
As it should be when you're creating.
Well, I'm excited. So in my new space here, Shari and I chat all the time. And she knows one of my biggest problems in my last studio space was I didn't have enough table space. Like, to move a pile out of the way to film a video, or, my last studio was in the dining room of the house that we lived in. And so I was always bringing stuff to the kitchen table, and the kitchen table became my overflow of my studio. So
and you don't
Shari,
have a kitchen table.
yeah, so we never used the kitchen table. So Shari was super helpful. I gave her the measurements of my room, and she measurements of my furniture, and she helped me figure out the configuration of everything. And she made my dreams come true. She figured out a way that I can have an L desk now. So over here, I have a whole extra space of desk. It's like amazing. So I'm literally like oozing over there very, very much right now. But I love it.
We have a really good question, and it goes along with what you're doing right now, Jen. It's what is the difference between black licorice ink and jet black ink?
This has been a question a lot lately, I've noticed in some Facebook groups. So Lawn Fawn Jet Black is the ink that I and Kelly and all of us at Lawn Fawn Land use to stamp our images if we're going to do any coloring. So Jet Black works with any alcohol-based markers. It also works with watercoloring. So if you're using your distress watercolor pencils or anything like that. So really, this is the only black ink pad I use when I'm doing any coloring. Now, some of you guys know I also design stuff for Tim Holtz, and sometimes I will use his archival black soot if I'm doing something a bit more mixed media with paint and stuff. But 99.99999% of the time, I'm using my Lawn Fawn Jet Black. And then Lawn Fawn Black Licorice and Jet Black is a really nice, crisp black ink. It really is awesome. Black Licorice is like a smidge blacker, and it's really nice to use for sentiments, but it is not waterproof. So just keep that in mind. You really can't use it with your alcohol-based markers. It might bleed. You can't watercolor over it. It will definitely bleed, but it's great for sentiments. So that's the difference.
And I always have both, and I just switch back and forth between. So when I'm stamping a sentiment, I use black licorice. And when I'm stamping, and the good thing is I'll show you on the Jet Black, it has a little like sunburst, and it says alcohol marker friendly on it. So if you're ever getting like a little bit confused, do you have a black licorice? Like I brought mine home. Then this black licorice.
Yep.
So if it's got the starburst, think of it, oh, that's the special one. I can color with it. If it doesn't, that's the one for sentiments.
So you guys, real life live crafting right now. I am not quite sure how I originally did this, but what I thought I did is I laid the letters down and then did these sentiments and then masked off the word carrot. But clearly I didn't, because the top of my carrot is in the way of carrot. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to mask this off if this is what you want to do, and you can do it if you have the space to do it. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use my exclamation point as an eye. And I'll show you. Like, yeah, I'll show you how I'm going to do this. The only problem with the exclamation point is it just doesn't like to sit there and wait to be picked up. So I'm just figuring out where it needs to go. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I will show you how to use the other stamp too, but it's not going to work for me. Okay. So what I'm going to do with my exclamation point, all right, is you can kind of see where the dot for the exclamation point is, right? So what I'm going to do is take a little piece of my best ever craft tape. And this is exactly how I'm going to mask the other sentiment too, but I will show you. I'm going to cover that little dot with this tape. And you might be able to find an eye in a whole nother stamp set, but I'm just working with what we've got for the class tonight. And now I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And you guys can see how that tape is covering the dot. So it did get all inky. I'm going to peel that tape away. And I'm going to stamp my eye, which is really an exclamation point. Nobody will know but us. Okay. Now, if you're using the eye carrot stamp set, I'll just bring that in. You would do the same exact thing. Take a little piece of tape, washi tape, whatever, and cover the word carrot. And you can selective ink, like some people can see the separation and they're really good and they don't need to put the tape. I just like to put the tape to just be safe, especially when I'm chatting with you guys. So now I have the eye, and then I can go ahead and stamp just the eye down, and the word carrot didn't get any ink. Hopefully that makes sense.
I like both ways. I really like the idea of the exclamation point. Like I'm just gonna connect it with a
that.
little.
I like the exclamation point.
Like I want to try that. Now I just gotta find. Ooh, can you pass this back?
And also, you also can just freehand it and get a small tip pen. I always keep like a micron pen to fill in if something didn't stamp well. And you can just draw an eye in too. I'm just sharing all the ways. All the ways tonight. Okay.
So someone's asking about your glass mat, Jen.
So this is not, so this is my desktop from IKEA, and it's sitting on two Alex drawers, but sadly they don't carry it anymore. So I do not have a glass mat.
And then someone wants to know, your voice is familiar, and if you've done business videos for Microsoft or another app.
100% no.
Do you want to hear something funny?
Definitely not Microsoft. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm an Apple girl like through and through. Like my very first computer was Apple, and I've been all in since.
Well, when we first started doing videos, there was like this weird faction of random people commenting on YouTube videos. I don't think they were crafters who thought I was secretly Katy Perry based on my voice. Because it was in my hands, and it was so odd. And I was like, do I sound like Katy Perry? I can't sing like her, that's for sure. But I thought that was such a funny thing. This was, I don't even know, it might even be before Lawn Fun, I'm not sure, or right when we started. It was such a funny, weird YouTube rabbit hole that happened.
Funny.
Back when like really weird things like that could happen on YouTube. I feel like now it doesn't happen as much, but.
So now we're going to finish decorating this card. What I did just want to point out is we have our 3 single carrots. And what I did with my bunch of carrots is I cut them apart. So they were a bunch of 3 and a bunch of 3. And I think that's really fun to just remember, like you can modify your stamped images. Like they don't always have to stay the way they were intended. So look at your sets in a different way. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention real quick, because I'm an East Coast Fawny, I know it is starting to get a little bit later, and if you have to leave us, we'll only be a little sad, but just remember you can always come back for the replay. I was just seeing a few people mention that they had to leave.
Oh, it's getting late. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to tuck my carrots into my garden, wherever they're growing. They can be wherever. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. This is about as close to gardening as I get, by the way. And because I have my double-sided tape out, I'm going to go ahead and actually use that on the back of this just to hold my carrots in at the same time as adhering this to my card. But you could use a tape runner, dot runner, liquid glue, whatever works for you.
So I used to love fussy cutting before coordinating dies. Like I found it a relaxing part of the like crafting process. So I'm excited to like get to fussy cut. Yep.
Yeah, I actually love to fussy cut. I don't want to do it all the time, but I do
No, I love
to do it
coordinating
sometimes.
Yeah.
Shari is like the fussy cut queen.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That girl can fussy cut everything. Like perfect.
We would wait for her to arrive at the trade show to do the fussy cutting we had to do for the trade show, because we would have to cut our logo, like our logo signs out.
So I just adhered my stitch garden at the bottom here. And then the next thing I am going to do is I'm going to add one of my little bunnies into a carrot card. And so I just add some glue to his legs and his tail and just set him in the car. So cute. And I'm going to go ahead and add some foam squares behind him.
There's something about him driving with like the one paw that just cracks me
I
up.
always have to put the paw on the steering wheel.
Yeah, it's just so cute.
It's so cute.
All right. My foam squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a whole stash in here.
Wow.
I used to always be out, but my son doesn't really steal them anymore. He went through
We used to have to hide them.
Yeah, he went through like a foam square phase where he'd cover his entire pants with foam squares.
That's so funny.
But now he just he found our stash of like pre-die cut images, like ones we've colored in die cut but just haven't put on a card. And now he's been taking all of those,
all gone.
making his own cards. Maybe I'll pick up my laptop later and show you guys. We've got a whole wall of his art over here.
Aw, that's so fun.
He's got this whole big thing of die cuts. He goes, but I want a tree. I'm like, no.
Well, you gotta start teaching him how to stamp and die cut then.
He knows how. He just didn't realize there was a stash of pre-done ones that now he wants to play with. But he actually knows how to stamp and die cut pretty well.
Yeah, actually very well.
Yeah, he's a pretty good little stamper.
So now I just added some foam squares behind the little banner, and then I just kind of tuck the string to the banner behind the carrot. I'm not adhering the two per se, and honestly, that's just good enough. So cute. And all right, I'm going to get a card base since I know where they are. Oh, I love it, Kelly.
Woo! It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, cloud dies would work really well. The puffy glob borders would be great to create a little dirt patch.
For sure.
Oh, the ground dirt die from the Veggie Happy stamp set is a perfect idea. You could lay a couple of them there on the ground that the bunny could be driving.
Oh yeah,
over.
that would be very cute. Again, if you guys are creating with us, we would love to see what you do create. So be sure to tag Lawn Fawn, and you can tag me, Jen Shirkus. And my name is on the handout as well if you're not sure how to spell that. So part of the L desk is I had to switch I have the 2 Alex drawers holding my main part of my desk up. I have one Alex drawer on my left and one Alex drawer on my right. And which is just a set of drawers, if you're not sure what Alex drawers are. And part of having the L desk work, I had to swap my Alex drawers because one of my Alex drawers has hanging files in it. And so I'm all discombobulated.
Oh, you're just like, I don't know where anything is.
Yeah. And I just need to switch the supplies on the top few drawers, but I just haven't had a chance. So, and by the time I do, I'm not going to be discombobulated anymore. So, card base number 1.
And then I did want to show that I love that idea of using the patch from This Is the Veggie Happy stamp set, and that little
So
patch
cute.
there would be really cute. And you can put the die cut for that lets you tuck the little carrots inside. So that would be adorable.
Which I love. All right. And card base number 2. Look at me go.
I'm so proud of you, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you. And Josie will be proud of me too, because some of my cards that I don't mail out, I put on my website for sale for Cards for Charity, and all the money is donated. And my friend Josie works for me part-time, so she ends up having to put them on card bases when I don't do it. So if she's watching, she'll be happy as well. All right. So now we are going to make a platform pop-up. Yay!
And also, Holly, we're so glad that you're here. This is so fun. So glad that you're having a blast.
Yay.
And someone's asking Alex drawers from IKEA that they only open like 2/3. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they're all right. But yeah, there's like a little hidden, like sometimes I can't find an ink pad and it's because it's kind of back where you can't open it.
What's
all the way.
weird is some of my drawers open all the way and some don't. So I don't know if Chris did some magic when he put them together. I don't know.
I'm curious because mine does.
Yeah, can Chris come fix ours?
Sure.
And someone's asking about inks that fold back with a hinge. That is VersaFine ink. It's like
it's a very old VersaFine. They don't do that anymore. This is vintage Jen Shirkus, like uses the same supplies for 100 years. But yeah, it doesn't come with a hinge like that anymore.
Then the VersaFine we use here is mine from 15 years ago?
Yeah.
It has my old address on it and everything. Yeah, so same. Yeah.
Shari said, sounds like Chris didn't screw all the screws in. Well, I'm glad he didn't screw all the screws in because now I can access my whole drawer.
I actually thought about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to start the platform pop-up. So the main base piece, I cut it twice out of the pesto spiffy speckles. So what I'm going to do first is all the little score lines on here, I'm going to go ahead and fold those. So my front side is green and my back side is white. So I'm going to fold the folds so that you're touching the whites together. So I'm folding back. And if you have a bone folder, you can kind of crease these folds with your bone folder. But if you don't, no worries. This die works so well either way. It's really not a finicky die at all.
Yeah, I actually don't usually crease them either. So it always works.
I just love this bone folder so much. It feels so good.
I know, it feels nice.
I want to use it.
Yeah, there's like something about it that's like, I don't know what it is, but it's so nice to use it.
So I'm always like, ooh, I can use my bone folder. And don't forget this little tab. So you have your scalloped border up here, and there's a little tab at the end. We definitely want to fold that. And then we're going to go ahead and fold all the same things on our second piece. So often when you get dies from Lawn Fawn that are the interactive dies, because there is a lot of mechanisms to them, the main piece is often something that you will like cut twice. And then that way it keeps the cost of the die down. And then that way we can have these really cool structures. So there's many interactive dies from Lawn Fawn that will have you do that.
extenders for the episodes. Now they pull all the way out. What are these
Oh,
drawer
we need that.
extenders?
We'll make the guys do that
I
here.
know. I want to know what these drawer extenders are. Okay.
All right. Also, as part of our pieces that we prepped is you should have 3 of the teas. These are part of the main part of the die. We're not using any add-on pieces yet. So we've got those 3 teas. And you'll see at the bottom of the T is a little score line. So we're going to fold back 2 of those out of 2 of your T's. So we'll have a nice little tab at the bottom. And again, folding white to white. And then that 3rd T, we're actually just going to go ahead and cut that tab off. And it doesn't have to be straight, somewhat on that score, great. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just cut that T off. All right. We got real quiet during the interactive.
I know, right?
It's so
Well,
funny.
Then Mike was writing me to ask about Mo, our dog's medications, because she had the knee surgery. So all of a sudden I saw that. I missed it.
All right. So now what we are going to do is, I'm trying to remember.
You want to put the tape on?
Do you put the tape? You put all the tape on the tabs. Is that what you like to do?
That's what I usually like.
Yeah. So I'm going to use 1/4-inch tape, double-sided tape. And I am going to add it on the green side of the tabs. So we've got a tab at the bottom here that's near the little slot that's cut out. I just saw somebody just found the glass tabletop on Facebook Marketplace. That's a score.
Amazing. Okay, now that's a score. I've been looking for that glass top for a while now.
I love it. And I'm going to go ahead and do it on both of these main pieces. And you also have that little side tab at the top by the scallop.
All right.
Good. All right. So now, Kelly, I'm having Friday night brain, but do you attach these together first, or do you build
I usually just work on one, and I usually flip over to the inside. So I'm looking at the white side.
Got it.
And then I take the T and I feed it through the slot, and then I fold along that first big fold, and then you kind of pull back on the T.
Yep.
And then you can remove that adhesive on the T-shaped piece and press it down once you've kind of like fully pulled through.
Perfect. So what we were just saying is we're going to take our T, and you can see how we have that fold here. We're going to put this into the slot. So it's right in the slot here. And then I did not put tape on my tab on my T yet, so I'm going to just do that on the green side. You can see that right here. And so I'm going to peel that liner off, and you're going to just kind of, with that T tab folded, you're going to pull that up. With that first fold down. So we have this first fold, and our tab is going to pull up, and I'll bring it up to the camera so you guys can see. See that there? So I just folded that first fold, and where that tab lines up is where it sticks. And then what you're going to do is peel off this liner right here. And that tab folds down and lines right up just under your little scalloped border. Just like that. And you can kind of start to see it's starting to form a structure. And so we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So we're going to take our other T that has that tab still and put it in. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on that green little tab. You're going to peel it off. And then you're going to fold up that first fold of your main structure so that it sticks down just like that. And then I'm going to peel off the liner on my next tab and pull that up towards the scalloped border. And it's going to go just, I think that's about 1/8 of an inch down, but it'll just go as far as it can go.
And then someone was asking if they would love to get a pattern or solid color paper with white on the inside so you can cut card bases. That's a really cute idea. And the cool thing is Spiffy Speckles, the one that we're using for this, is actually kind of works like that because it would have the speckles, but it's white. So it would be really cute actually inside. It would feel special, I think.
Very
and you
cool.
could still easily see what you're writing.
So now we have our 2 structures that we built here, and we have our other T that we cut the little tab off. And so what I'm going to do is just grab my runner, and on the long part of the T, so that not the top part of the T, but that long part, I'm just going to put some dot runner. And then you're going to line that up on either of your structures. It doesn't matter which one, so that the top of your T lines up with the fold here. And it's stuck down here. Okay. And you could use your tape as well if you want. I don't know. Sometimes I just think a runner is just quick and easy.
That's easy. And that one's not like functional for the.
Yeah. It's not going to get pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're going to attach these 2 pieces together. So the way that I like to do this is I'm going to just fold back this one tab. So that's the liner. I'm going to peel this off. And I call it like kissing. So we have the tab here on the left and our straight edge here on the right. And I keep it flat on my table and I just slide them together so they kiss. And then I fold that tab down. And then it's always nice and straight. If you try to do it in the air, you have a chance of it kind of being a little crooked. And that way it's just nice and straight. And then I'm going to add some of this tape to my center piece where we put that T. Again, you could do it either side, left or right. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to go ahead and peel the liner off of these. And if we fold this in half, I'm going to kind of do it vertically so you guys can see. If we fold this in half, it's going to line up perfectly the base of one side to the other.
This is my favorite. Oh, wait, we got to do the tab on the side.
Yeah. And then I just peel the liner off on the tab. And these 2 will come together real easily. And then we've got our platform pop-up.
And that's my favorite. When
it's
it goes
so fun.
It's so
it'll
fun.
Go flat into a card, nice and flat into an A2 card, envelope. And then it pops up into this really cool 3D structure, which is so fun to send somebody this because it's like a whole thing that they can set out and display.
So cute. And someone was asking who designed this. It was actually me and Rebecca, whose voice you've been hearing. She's on the other side of the screen. So we designed the interactive dies and have a lot of fun doing it.
Definitely a lot of fun.
Yay!
Oh, we're getting some 100s. I think that means people are getting theirs working perfectly.
Awesome. All right. And so then we have the new fence add-on. I'm getting all my little bits out here. So I cut my fence from Lawn Fawn's vanilla cardstock, which is a very heavyweight cardstock. I think the Lawn Fawn cardstock, right, is 100 pound or 110
Yeah,
100
It
pounds.
depends. This one's 100. Yeah.
Yeah. So this I would recommend using your bone folder. Go ahead and start just folding all your folds and give it some really good creases.
I'm doing that already too because it needs the extra sharp edge there.
I just really I wanted a cream fence, so it just had to be vanilla malt cardstock.
I like it. It feels so like soft, you know?
Yeah. There is a little, is there? No, there isn't. Sorry. Never mind. Don't listen to my words. I'm getting Friday night brain.
I know, right? Somebody's asking about the interactive dies. And funny enough, the hardest part about designing them is actually making them into a die that isn't
$1 million.
Yeah, that's the hardest part of it actually, is making sure that you design it so that it doesn't. So the magic iris was the hardest one.
That was the one.
That was the hardest one to make it. The original one would have cost like $100. And then we were able to kind of, kind of put them together more easily once we could figure out exactly how to make it into a die that was affordable. So that's part of it's almost like a puzzle. It's really fun.
So then we have this fun little stitching accent for the fence. And so what I found to use is the 1/8 inch double-sided tape. And what I do is I put it on the back side of the whole thing. It's like the perfect width.
Oh my goodness, Gina made 8 platform pop-up Easter cards last year. I love that.
That's amazing. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, somebody at Crop on the Cape was making Easter pop-up platform pop-ups when I was walking around the room.
Oh,
I think it was actually Joni, my friend Joan, who's been taking my classes forever.
Miles, before he could really even say the words platform pop-up, he would just do this to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what you do because he wanted to play with one. So that was so he would say, Mom.
That's so cute. So I'm putting that 1/8 inch tape on both of the strips for the fence. And I like to make sure I really burnish that adhesive on there, like before I peel the liner off, just because, again, this cardstock is thicker and this is a little piece. It's very thin. So I just really want to make sure it's on there. And then what I found to be easiest for me is I actually peel the liner off and I put it on the fence now, which it's going to go right up here. You can kind of see where there's this little tab. And then I just kind of refold this all with the bone folder. I wasn't going to try to fold this without it. I was like, no.
Yeah. Like,
nah.
I'm trying to line up my piece here. And I'm finding doggy hairs. We always have Rebecca's dog hairs.
Well, it's funny. I always have cat hair. And like when I put my removable runner in it was a new one, but it was in my drawer out of the packaging. And sure enough, my first few drags had all cat hair. I'm like, oh.
Everything is in either black fur or white fur, and it's long and it's fluffy and it's on everything.
So you can see how I'm just refolding those folds on the fence, and then I'm just taking my bone folder and just reinforcing them. So then that's, again, just how I found it easier. And then what I love about the add-ons, there's some really fun add-ons for this platform pop-up. I love the cloud one. The cloud one is adorable. Maybe you can remember the other ones, Kelly.
One, there's a hillside one.
Yeah,
they're really fun.
they're
the cloud
so
one,
fun.
The cloud one is
it's really cute for like baby cards or like rainbow cards. It's super cute.
What I'm going to do now is take the double-sided tape, and I put a little bit at the bottom of the fence, and I'm putting a little bit at the top of the fence, just under that stitching. This is on the back side of the fence. Okay.
And then someone mentioned asking if there's an interactive die in the next release. Not in the May release. We usually only do them in our really big releases, which are in the spring and then fall, winter.
And then you're going to want to put some double-sided tape on the front of the tab. So right here, and I'm going to do the same thing for both sides. And using the double-sided tape for this, I think, is also really good, again, because this cardstock is strong. And you guys know my story of my dad, like me sending him cards and why I double pop things up so his big fingers can move all the mechanisms. Well, he also displays my cards for life. They literally sit out and fade and collect dust because he's a bachelor and doesn't really dust ever. But so I think of that type of stuff too. I don't want my cards to fall apart when he's displaying them for months and months. All right, and then this is actually just really easy to add the add-on. I'm just going to peel the liner off of one side of my fence. And I like to start by lining it up with one of the larger front panels. And then you just wrap it around and give it some presses. And you can flatten your platform pop-up so that it's easier to kind of press. And then we're going to do the other side.
It's funny. I've always made it into one big round thing and then wrap like kind of.
Oh, yeah.
But this might actually be easier.
You know me.
I think this is easier.
You know me. I'm always doing things different.
I know, but I like it. Well, sometimes it's like we imagine.
This is like way easier.
Yeah, we imagine things and we struggle to get past how we imagine them. So we called it a wraparound. So we were like, you have to wrap it around, but this is so much easier.
So then you can see I'm just lifting up my flat edge of my fence here. I'm going to peel the liner off of that tab, and I'm just going to tuck that tab in. And I'll do the same thing with the other side. I feel like when I made it as a whole piece, I had a hard time having it.
Yeah, this is much better.
Fit the folds as well. I don't know.
No, this is much better. I love it.
And then your two little tails on that detail of the fence. What I did, again, probably not what everybody does, but I'm just going to fold that. And I actually put a little bit of wet glue. And then you just kind of have to hold it in place until that wet glue sets. But I just found the tape wasn't strong enough. And again, this is because we're using 100-pound cardstock, which is very heavyweight. If you used a really cute pattern paper, or even an 80-pound cardstock that you ink blended, you probably wouldn't have to do be as conscious of things folding and staying together. But I need it to be difficult and have a vanilla malt fence.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think someone had a really great question. Well, why make the platform pop-up green then with the beautiful green paper? Well, it's because when you look at the top, then it'll be green.
As we put all our grass in, and it's going to coordinate with all the green here. Yeah.
But that's a good thought. I have to say, even though I know, I knew the card already, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wait a second, why are we doing this? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Why are we doing it green and then covering all the green?
Yeah.
Well, because I said so. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
exactly.
I do what Jen tells.
I'm the teacher, and I said so.
I do what Jen tells me.
Yeah. There's the only child in me coming out.
I saw some only child in my son today at the park. He was like, but I want to be the first one. I was like, well, sometimes
the struggle's real. The struggle's real. Tell him he can call Auntie Jenny and vent anytime he wants.
Yeah. No, he was great. Then he did great. He shared and he was amazing. We had so much fun today at the park. We celebrated his friend's 4th birthday.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
All right. Look at how cute with the fence, you guys. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. All right. So we are going to add grass on each of these 3 little inserts. And the way that I do that is we have our grass cut out of the pesto pattern paper as well, the Spiffy Speckles pesto. So I'm going to take that really thin 1/8 inch double-sided tape, and I put it right along the bottom on the white side of the grass. So you can see it right at that bottom there. And then you are going to just peel that liner off and press it to the top of your tea. Just like that. And I'm going to do that on all 3 of my teas. Oh, so cute.
So cute. Oh, I'm just losing pieces, What's what I do.
Check your sleeves.
I know. I got a foam tape on my sleeve.
Check your boobs. Check the floor. That's what I always say in my classes. Check your sleeves. Check your boobs. Check the floor.
With Kelly, you never know.
Never know. Sometimes over your hair. Oh my gosh, we used to have these really thin letter stickers back in the day, and those would get stuck in my hair all the time, and I wouldn't find them till later, and I would have had these like random letters in my hair.
Oh my gosh!
It was the bow that we're gonna do. I lost it.
Redo it?
I'll find it eventually.
I love the bow. I had to add it. I love the bow. It's my favorite.
Oh, it's so cute. But I literally was just holding it. Oh, for goodness sakes.
Oh, wait, hold on. Stop. Come here.
What?
Come right.
Oh. You didn't. You gotta add elbows
into your elbows. All right, I'm gonna sing the song Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes, but I gotta keep boobs in there too. I hope YouTube doesn't flag us that I said that word, but
I don't know.
It's real life.
It's real life.
So cute. I love it with the grass in there.
So cute.
All right. So now what we will do is let's go ahead and do our bow. And what I did is I cut all the pieces out of the strawberry frosting Spiffy Speckles. I'm obsessed with Spiffy Speckles. It can never go away, ever, ever, ever.
It will not. We just reordered more of it recently.
Good.
And more of the Fairy Godmother paper, which is the new paper, from the Rainbow Ever After that has the gradient in it.
That I feel like
yeah. So
and Vicky was just asking if we'll keep it forever. Yeah, we've had it for years and years, so we have no plans of getting rid of Spiffy Speckles, and we reorder all the time, so no worries.
I was literally saying like they can't get rid of it for like 100 years, but I knew it wasn't going away anytime. So these little bands for our bow, they do have a little crease line, and even my eyeballs sometimes has a hard time seeing this specific crease line. So I just wanted to let you know I just marked this, but it's at 1.5 inches is where that crease line is. So if you're having a hard time seeing it, you can just do a little tick mark with a ruler. I think I was having like a bad eye day. Tonight I can see them fine, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let people know. For those, again, Friday night eyes, it's the end of the week.
Yes.
Who knows? Who knows how everybody's weeks were, but
yeah, I've had a, well, it's funny, my Mo has done great at night, sleeping even after the knee surgery, but I keep waking up to check on her.
Yep. So when you're folding it, I just want to make it clear, it's not folded in half. Like there's a little lip here. So that's why it's 1.5 inches is where, and again, it doesn't, at that point, it doesn't matter if you're folding it on the score line. Just fold it at 1.5 inches. And now that I have those folded, I am going to put double-sided tape on the back that I literally just had. Oh, I was like, I literally just had it and now I can't find it, but here it
Losing
is.
stuff like me.
I'm like, welcome to our desk.
Oh my gosh. You guys should have saw. So when I'm designing cards specifically for classes, which I was designing my classes for Firefly Farm, this is like kind of a funny thing about me. I like to keep all the scrap bits, like all the, die cut extras, like after you cut out everything. I like to keep it all piled on my desk. Like I don't throw it away as I go because it makes me feel very accomplished. Like I'm like, ooh, I'm getting a lot done. So I should have taken a photo, but before this live, I had like the massive pile of like tape, like all like my little tape backings and the cardstock bits. And oh my gosh, it was a lot.
Well, it's evidence of a job well done.
Well, yeah, I got all the classes designed. So I was like, okay, I can clean off my desk. It's just this weird thing that I do. I don't know why.
It shows
it's like my little, like, it's like my cheerleading. It's like, you can do it, Jen. Look how far you've come.
Look, you've done it.
Okay. So now that we have the tape on here, what we're going to do is peel the liner off. And you're going to see that that fold is going to line up with the fold of your platform pop-up. Okay. And so you're going to go ahead and put, there's 4 pieces. So you're going to make your way around. I just think the bow ends up looking so sweet.
There's something about the bow, especially for spring.
Give me a paper bow any day. Like I'm not really good at making actual bows. So the fact that this one looks somewhat realistic.
Yeah, I am terrible at making a real bow. They always go sideways, and people have taught me how to fix it, and then I do it, and then I probably forget. I guess I can never do it again.
The only thing I can really make somewhat of a bow with is lawn fawn trimmings, because it does have that hemp in it. It does keep the shape a little bit better, but it takes some finagling.
It looks like someone was saying that they want a Spiffy Speckles stamp and hot foil. That could be fun.
I think I told you guys a Spiffy Speckles hot foil, so we could have our own spiffier speckles.
I know somebody mentioned
you've already written it down.
Someone mentioned something about if that their platform was all warped. If we can help you, please let us know.
So sometimes folding it flat and just going around with a bone folder and like really just kind of, you know, training the paper makes a difference too.
Especially when you've added fence, it's a lot of layers.
It is. It's a lot of layers. It's extra, as I am sometimes. So you want to figure out what your front is. And really, there's no right or wrong way, but I just want my green grass to face front, not my white grass. So once you've figured out your front, I'm going to add this little Happy Spring label. And within the platform pop-up, so when we start decorating our grass, you can't use foam squares or it won't lay flat. So I always have to foam square things on the outside of it because I'm obsessed with foam squares. So my little label is going to be foam squared right on the front. And then to cover the back seam, I'm going to use that little heart that I had you guys die cut. And you could probably guessed it. I'm putting it on with a foam square. And then I actually am building the bow off to the right side because I wanted to use this label so I had a place with a sentiment. And so I'm putting the little bow off to the side. And the bow is so easy to put together. You're going to take the little tails of the ribbon, in air quotes, because it's obviously not really ribbon. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue tube and lay that down flat right along. And then the loops of the bow, I am going to use foam squares. So I'm going to put a foam square behind each loop and add that.
A spiffy speckle stencil, that would be fun too.
Oh, yeah.
I like the popped bow because that's what kind of almost makes it feel like a real
realistic. Yeah. And then you have one more little piece of your bow, which I kept all my little pieces on some best ever craft tape so I wouldn't lose them because I've kit this so long ago. But you have this little piece here, which is the knot of the bow. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to add just a very small dot of Lawn Fawn glue tube right there and just place that on it.
So I'm saying it's one of their favorite interactive die sets because with all the add-ons, you make it unique each time. I know depending on what stamp set and what scene you do, you can go from winter to spring, anything.
For sure. It's so cute.
So Shannon's asking a cardstock like fresh lavender. We are working on it. It was actually supposed to come out in spring, but we weren't able to get it in time. So I don't know where we're at with that.
Purples are so tricky.
We're still
working on it, but it'll happen. It'll happen one day.
Me, it is in there. It is my favorite purple. It is so pretty.
And Rebecca loves purple, so we're working on it.
I'm working on it. But there is a very pretty lavender purple in the textured cardstock in the purples.
Oh, that's true. The textured cardstock is gorgeous. So if you like a lavender.
Yeah. But there is a regular cardstock coming out soon.
So
someone's sorry, you keep going. You keep going.
I was actually just going to answer a question, which you're probably about to answer, but does Lawn Fawn release old papers? She's out of Hello Sunshine Remix. Well, the Hello Sunshine Remix is a re-release of Hello Sunshine. So I don't know, maybe someday will there be a Hello Sunshine Remix?
Remix the remix. I think too, sometimes we just bring a paperback. So if you guys saw that we brought, we brought Gummy Bears, which is from Perfectly Pad Rainbow back recently. And so we're going to keep bringing papers back. So if you have suggestions.
She wants the Claire and the tiny rainbow one. So
okay, let's write that down.
Those down.
Because occasionally we have the opportunity to fill our printing press with a paper or two. And then we bring back older favorites. So anytime that you guys have a favorite pattern paper, let us know. Write into info@lawnfawn. Let us know at Create With Us is because that helps us because it'll come up. We won't know when it's going to happen. And all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, we've got space on this press and we'll be able to throw a paper on there. So it's pretty fun to bring some of our favorites back.
So part of the fence add-on is they had this really cute little grass sprig. And I don't normally do a lot of finicky work per se, but I thought these little pieces of grass, just a few on the outside of the fence, looked so cute with the grass on the inside. So I'm just adding a little bit of glue tube and adding a few little pieces of grass. Please don't be mad at me for making you die cut these little grass pieces. I don't do this all the time, but sometimes it's just fun. And I think this is a time. Good thing Shari didn't have to play along tonight because she probably would have yelled at me for these little grass sprigs.
Yep. Someone's asking about a Dandy Day background stencil. I like that idea of like some of our favorite older papers we could bring back as a stencil too, which actually the one we use today is very similar to our, oh my gosh, what was the name of that collection?
Which one?
The one with me.
Yeah, the one that there's a
Sorry.
gem paper, file paper.
The flower market. No, flower.
Oh gosh,
Flower
how could I?
Market?
No, Flower Market is a
Flower
more
Market's
recent
different.
one. It was Spring Fling.
Yeah.
Yes,
Spring-
Spring
Yeah,
Fling.
style in it.
Yeah, because a lot of the papers, if you ever see when
Yeah,
the papers
right
are, yeah, there we go. If you ever see when the papers are named after people, it's people who worked at
Oh,
Lawn
that's
Fawn.
not me. That was not
This-
my paper. My paper was in the fall.
You were in the fall one.
Yeah.
She was in the, Kyle was in the fall one. That's right. This
No.
one has,
I thought Kyle was the green.
no, Kyle's the
the
army green one. Yeah, that's the fall one.
That's okay. I don't.
But yeah, so that's, you can see that this one inspired this stencil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so now we are going to get our bits ready to decorate the inside. And just remember, this is when we want to use all flat adhesive because if you use foam squares, it's just not going to fold well to go in an envelope. If you're just going to always have it displayed, you could totally use foam squares. Fall fling.
Fall
Fall
fling,
fling,
yeah.
but I'm looking to see. I thought I had one here and I don't. I have spring fling, not fall fling. I don't know.
So I'm going to start by adding the little bunny in the in the carrot car like we did before. So I add a little glue to his feet and his tail. And I've always got to have that little paw on the steering wheel. It just makes me laugh.
So cute.
And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue tube to the front bottoms of those tires. And I'm going to place that right behind the grass here in the second level of the grass. And then you guys have your little hitch, maybe, if you haven't lost it. Again, I put mine on tape so I wouldn't lose it. I'm going to flip my cart over and add the hitch to that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue, lay my hitch down. Doesn't matter how long your hitch is because you can tuck it farther behind your carrot car when you get to that point. And we're going to add one of our rows of tulips to the cart. So I'm going to add some glue to the stems.
I have to say my favorite is the tulips in the cart. I don't know what it is. It is just, to me,
so sweet.
Oh, see, spring fling has Rebecca paper in it. That's why we still have it.
That's why we still have it. You've been hoarding it.
Because it's my paper.
I was going to say, yeah, fall fling is Jen and Shari, and I still have my paper.
That's right. And you guys, you'll know that there's a B capitalized because we have a Rebecca and we have a Becca.
So I had to share my paper, which I don't feel is fair.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We tried to, we almost did a Becca and a Rebecca. Was so confusing.
So now I'm going to add a little bit of glue tube to the bottom of the cart tires. And this is where I like to use a wet glue so I have some wiggle room, but I'm going to figure out where I want my cart. And I just let that hitch fall behind the carrot. I don't put any adhesive, personally.
Shari, I was going to say, look at you with all the information. Yeah. You're full. I appreciate you because I don't remember any of that.
It's even your own paper.
I know.
Our other row of tulips, I'm going to add some glue on those stems again. And those are going to sit in the front row of the grass to the right side. And then the last thing we're going to do is add the little sign. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue tube to the bottom of the post. And I always have to put the sign at an angle. It's like it's meant to be at an angle.
I do that too.
It's never straight. It's always at an angle.
And by the way, I wasn't paying attention, so I put my guy in front of the grass, and that looks really cute too.
Oh, super cute. Yeah. Love it.
Teacher's not paying attention. Just
well,
saying.
I know. It happens.
Just saying.
And just so you know,
I like to make fun of my nerdiness.
I didn't put anything on the back grass, but it's nice that it's there. So it all looks like nice and finished. And again, this is going to still fold nice and flat and go into an A2 envelope.
Oh, and then the little heart. I forgot that on the back.
Slacker.
I know.
See that? See?
That's
what I'm saying.
If you guys can't tell, I was a complete nerd. I have a feeling that Rebecca and Jen were a lot cooler.
No,
than
I
was not cool, but I was not a nerd.
I was sitting out in the hallway in second grade. It was me and Jen.
I wasn't cool. I wasn't cool, but I definitely wasn't quiet and the perfect student.
Exactly. I'm telling you, Jen. Yep. My second grade teacher used to write notes home to my mother in red ink, to the point that my mother started writing back to her in red ink.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My dad remarried when I was in elementary school. And I remember when I came home with my report card, and I had really good grades. I mean, not all straight A's, but good grades. But on the report card was like, Jennifer needs to stop talking so much and distracting the class. And my stepmother, she wanted to ground me. And my dad just started laughing because he's like, I've been seeing this since first grade. We'll talk to her about it, but she's got to grow out of this. Yay, look at us, guys.
Cute. Yay.
I love it so much. And it was so fun. So I forgot to mention this at the very beginning, but I did a platform pop-up because we did a platform pop-up last spring. And something that I keep in mind when I'm teaching or when I'm designing any of my classes, whether they're these free mini classes or my in-person classes or my online classes, is I really try to repeat supplies so that you guys are getting more ideas with the products you've already purchased, and you're just finding more value in those items that you've bought. So we have done a platform pop-up before in a previous Create With Us. So if this was your first time creating a platform pop-up with us, definitely check out the Create With Us page and find the previous one. It was with the bears and the rain and the umbrellas.
Yeah, the rainy day bears.
I loved that Create With Us. That was one of my favorite because we got really inky.
Yes, that was so fun. And someone's saying if we have a favorite of the mini birthday year stamps. We are working on year 14. Year 2 is my favorite because we forgot to do it because we had done year 1 and we sort of didn't have the routine established. Then it was year 3 and people were like, wait, what happened with year 2? And we're like, uh-oh. So we made year 2 and year 3 at the same time, and we made year 2 a belated birthday, and it's got a little turtle with the present on top, and it's really cute. So that one's my favorite, not only because I think it's just one of the cutest ones, but also because I just think it's funny that we forgot, and then we had to make it a belated set.
Oh my gosh, I'm laughing because Vicky just said that she's relating to Rebecca and I being chatty in classes. And she just said, I couldn't help it that every other student needed my input. Oh my gosh, that was so
good.
Me. That was so me.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, so fun.
The funny thing is my daughter is the exact opposite. They can't get her to speak in class. Everything on her report card, she's so sweet. She's so quiet. She's so like, yeah.
So funny. It takes all of our different personalities to make the world go round.
Exactly.
So thank you guys so much for joining. I did just want to quickly mention, besides these free mini Create With Us classes, I also teach a lot of online lawn fawn classes. Like we mentioned tonight, Shari and I sometimes do East Coast Fawnies lawn fawn classes. We did just do one in January. And then I have coming up in April, I'll be teaching Veggie Happy. So we will be using the Veggie Happy stamp set. In my online classes, we create 3 cards together. There's coloring guides provided and a handout. And then I give you the idea of 2 bonus cards, and I go over those as well. You have access to a resource page that's only available for those signed up for class. They are hosted in private YouTube videos, so you don't need to have Facebook to be part of my online classes. And I would love if you join me. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, the next online class is Veggie Happy. And then, like I said, I'll be in person at Firefly Farm in May, and those classes are available for sign up now too.
Yes, and Jen's classes are incredible. You guys will love them. Not only are like the classes upcoming like Veggie Happy, but you can also take older classes as well. So you can either do something live or you can even do previous classes too. So you definitely have to go check out the site. And Shari has linked that there in the comments. So they are awesome and you would just have the best time.
Yeah, what's great about the online classes, just like the Create With Us classes that we did tonight, is if you can't make it live with me, you can watch it whenever it works into your schedule. Before the pandemic, I used to travel and teach a lot more than I do now. And something that I always heard was, oh, I really wish you were coming to my state or my country, or, oh, I really wish you were coming a different weekend. I'm busy that weekend. And what's great about the online classes is they really can fit into your schedule because you can take them whenever it works for you. Many people will kind of do them in little snippets, like a little half an hour here, a little half an hour there, just so that they can have some creative time. And again, with some guidance where they don't have to feel like they have to think so hard after a long day.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, you guys will definitely have to check those out. And we just are so glad that you've been here with us. And someone says Jen is an amazing teacher. I agree. She is the best.
Thank you.
And I'm excited because I got to create along today. And it's so fun. It's so fun to learn techniques at the same time that you get like beautiful finished projects. Like, I just think it's just a blast.
Yeah, it's so fun. And you never know what tips and tricks are going to be shared. Or, I mean, even just tonight using the exclamation point instead of what I originally did. You just never know. It's always worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
But
and yes,
so thrilled with you guys hanging out with us on a Friday night. I know it's late for a lot of you, and we're going to be doing Create With Us again on April 19th. And you can see I'm like so pumped for this one because we're going to be learning.
I can't wait, Kelly, for you to watercolor. I'm very excited.
I know. I'm going to watercolor. I'm so excited. I mean, it's going to be awesome. So this is techniques I don't know how to do. I can't wait to learn. So we're going to have a lot of fun learning the next time. So we can't wait to see you then too.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And again, thank you for joining us live or catching the replay. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And hopefully you found this inspiring and you enjoyed the crafty chat. Kelly gave away some good secrets tonight.
There were some good secrets for summer. And someone said I made a new toy for Miles to play with. I did. So I don't know if Miles is watching right now. He should be in bed, but I'm not sure. He might still be watching. And then, so you're going to be able to play with this on Monday.
Yay. Hi, Miles, if you're still watching.
I know. We love you, baby boy.
Awesome. Anything else you need to mention, Kelly? Do you want to remind them? You have another inspiration week coming up, right?
We have Night Inspiration Week, which is starting in just a few days on the 13th. So Inspiration Week's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be featuring the spring release items that we haven't featured yet. So there'll be brand new intro videos every day. There's gonna be 7 intro videos. We're going to have live premiere chats in YouTube as well. They're called YouTube premieres, and it's a chat kind of like this, except for instead of seeing us create live, we're going to be watching the video that Shari, Rebecca, and I have made made, and we're going to be chatting in the comments. So we'd love to have you for those, and we'll be posting that schedule soon. There's going to be awesome giveaways, so you definitely need to check out the blog starting on March 13th, and we'll be going for a whole week with awesome design team inspiration and everything using the brand new spring release. So make sure to check that out. You can even go to our blog and sign up for emails so that the blog comes into your inbox every morning, which I can't think of anything better than something
I
cute in
love
your
it.
inbox every morning instead of like spam and things to do. Just go sign up so it comes into your inbox. It's going to make you smile every morning. And also there's awesome giveaways and really great ideas. So we can't wait to see you there for March's Inspiration Week, for April's Create With Us, and for Jen's incredible classes that are all upcoming up.
Yay. Thank you guys so much. Have an awesome rest of your week. I hope you're able to get creative this weekend, and